The lovely and talented Howard Stern.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. How are you? No, I got to read this one second. I'm just reading this promo here. 92.3 K-Rock's Greaseman is getting set to make the final stop of his world tour right here in New York City. His world tour. Thanks to your overwhelming response, all the shows are booked. Then someone wrote in, yeah, right, sure. Jackie must have written that. Anyway, good morning, everybody. How are you? Good to see you. And let's take a little break here so we don't fall far behind. And then when we come back, we'll get the show started right after these words.
Here's Howard.
Your funny man. Your funny man back with you again. I got to boot up my computer. I wrote a whole bunch of notes for the show today, but I got to get them out of my computer. I'm a big computer man now. I'm into that whole laptop thing. I spent the whole weekend, Thanksgiving weekend, with my computer.
I thought your family was in town.
Yeah, my wife yelled at me the first night of the vacation talking about how I really don't want to be involved with the family anymore. All I want to do is sit down in my office with my computer. And then I have a real problem.
Oh, dear.
And that I'm antisocial, I'm a hermit. And I said, well, I agree.
You don't have to argue about
that. I agree. At least I'm happy with my little hobbies. I was on
were you going to do something about it, or are you going to change?
No.
Oh.
I think she wanted me to change, like say, okay, honey, I'll change. And then I just said, well, I'm not going to change. How can you change? Too tired to change. You know what I'm saying? If I was younger, I could change.
You're an old dog now. Huh?
Yeah. There's some water on the console here. I don't want it getting on my computer. I was on the internet the whole weekend. I was checking that out. Internet. That's
what
cool.
is internet as opposed to something else?
Well,
like online or...
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, Robin.
I have to go to you for these answers.
I know, it's sad. And you know the explanation will do you no good.
And then we'll get 5 million faxes about how wrong you are.
Yeah, and don't fax, okay? Robin's satisfied with my answer, okay?
I like his answer.
Yeah, right. Internet is this thing that was developed by the government, actually. Years ago, I guess it was an experiment in defense. If all of our communications went down, there would be this little network of computers and stuff that could talk to each other. So there was no even one central base. It was everyone feeding into this internet. This various scientists would use it, military operations would use it. The government just set it up. It became this one big database, if you will.
Is there a phone number you call to get into the internet?
It's very hard to get into the internet like through some phone number. Evidently, you can't. What I did was IBM now has this OS2 Warp package, and for like $80, one of the icons on your desk is the internet.
Oh.
And you just click into it, and you're on the internet.
So the programs aren't just out there. You have to have some kind of special...
You could get onto it through Prodigy, but it would be limited access. You could get onto it through America Online or any of these things, but it's limited access to the internet. Why do you want your access to the internet controlled? You want to be on it. You want to be uncensored. You want to pull in anything that you want. So you got to get a program that there's a bunch of different kind of programs that put you on the internet. And then once you're on it, you got to figure out how to navigate the internet because there's all different ways to do it. There's what you pull in something called a gopher. You pull in something called a news article, which is basically a bulletin board. And you can pull in a web and stuff like that. A web is like a big page. Like Beavis and Butthead have their own page. And then you can click on and, like with the program I have, you can drag pictures and stuff off the internet right onto your laptop or right onto your, right onto your desktop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And there's pictures, and like you click on to junk, and like there's just archives of material.
So what did you do on the internet all weekend?
I invented a cure for AIDS.
You talked to other scientists.
I spent the whole weekend trying to sort of learn how to use it. It takes a while to figure out what's going on.
So you haven't figured out a need for it yet.
Like, you could spend an hour trying to pull down a file, and then when you pull it down, you realize you have absolutely no need for it.
And you're going to get right out of it.
Yeah, right. It's like, it's cool, and you finally get to it. Like, I called, I finally got, it took me an hour to get there, but I ended up in England, and it's a group of scientists who take a picture every 1 second of a coffee pot. They're experimenting with sending pictures through computer. And they have a video camera aimed at a coffee pot. And every second it takes another picture of the coffee pot, and what you do is you try to get to it, and you look at this picture, and the coffee pot changes every second. So you finally, because that seems really stupid, right? But I wanted to see if I could get to it.
Oh, boy.
And I got to it, and then I'm staring at a coffee pot. And I realized I wasted an hour. I could have been living. I could have been doing something.
Could have been with your family.
Yeah. It was really weird. And then, like, I'll call other computer guys and go, guess what? I just looked at a coffee pot. And they go, wow. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. Then I called Jackie the Joke Man bulletin board.
Oh, yeah? He's got a bulletin board? Not on the internet?
Not on the internet. He's got some other goofy thing that really is weird.
Where's that?
I don't know. I got in on it, and then once I got in on it, then nothing happened.
What's on the Jackie bulletin
Nothing.
board?
Not even a joke.
I've never gotten through to it.
I got through. There's no jokes or anything. I can't even figure out how to use it.
I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be jokes.
And it comes up, and the guy who runs his bulletin board goes, hey, look, man, I don't have time to take care of this bulletin board. That's the message you get.
That's happy.
So it's empty?
Yeah, it's like, what do you mean you don't have time to take care of it? Then why have it? Turn it off.
I still haven't grasped that whole concept of bulletin board. Is the idea that you write something and somebody writes something else?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It was really weird because I was on this internet reading about me. There was about 300,000 articles about me. When they call it articles, it's just people writing back and forth to each other.
Okay, it's letters back and forth to each other?
Yeah, and every letter is, Howard, you better read this because we hear you're on the internet. And I read it, and it's the same dopes who call into the show. They have nothing to say. Some of them tell me to go to war with this one, or somebody says something bad about me, or this kind of thing. Or they sit and argue about stuff that had never even happened to me.
When you're talking to England like that, are you on the phone with England?
No. You're just getting their feed.
So the internet is like a 800 number type thing?
The internet is like a worldwide, supposedly there's 20 million people on it worldwide. It's uncensored, and it's, anybody downloads anything they want.
It's unregulated in any way.
Right, which is cool. And that's that's going to be the problem with the internet. The FCC is going to get involved one day. And when they get involved, it's going to be like they're going to try and start censoring what people say, and that's going to suck. That is going to really blow.
Is there one master place? I mean, is it just all different places?
There's different places. Like there's one place for what's called articles, which means people write back and forth to each other, like on Prodigy or something. And then there's another place for these webs, which are complicated little, they're big pages, and you click into them, and there's pictures and audio and all kinds of different files.
Sounds like it's kind of like a massive CD-ROM type.
Yeah, and you never know where to find anything. They sell this book called The Internet Yellow Pages, and you can look up different junk. But even that, I mean, it's like a maze.
I've seen some of these books that tell you, how to steer your way through the internet, but I didn't even know what the internet was. Well,
I got on the internet. I'm reading a bunch of guys, and I started scanning everything for anything marked www, which is World Wide Web. Once I found anything marked www, I called into it. And then I found this guy's page. It's called the home page in the web. I found a page of a guy who's, I don't know, he's from Kent State, and he downloaded everything from the Kent State Library into this page and into the Kent State archives. So, but do I want to read that? I mean, it was cool that I found the guy.
Yeah, right now you're just able to find things.
Yeah.
You just haven't found anything you want.
Yeah, every time I find something, I don't want to read it. And the guy had a beautiful whole thing set up where you could click anywhere and find anything out you wanted about Kent State University, but do I care?
You haven't found a need for that yet.
But it took me 17 hours to find that guy.
So have you actually seen anything you might use?
No.
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 The computer is weird, though. When you try to do something, you just can't shut it off until you've done it. If you decide you're going to find Kent State on the internet, you're not turning that off until you do it.
And I do it, and then I looked, and you know how long I spent on the internet Saturday night?
How long?
4 hours.
Oh, my goodness.
It's a dog chasing a car.
I was on for 4 hours. I looked at the time on it. I spent 4 hours on this thing, and my eyes were hurting. They were all bloodshot red.
And you haven't really done anything.
And I'd done nothing except looked at a coffee pot and contacted some guy at Kent State.
So then you drag yourself to bed exhausted.
Yeah. And everyone says the internet is the coolest thing, and it's cooler than Prodigy, and it's cooler than this. And I'm like, you know, okay, I see what they mean, because nothing's mapped out for you. You got to find stuff on your own, but I mean, I got to live my life. I can't.
You can't spend all day with the internet.
No, I can't. I've got things I need to do.
But if you finally accomplish what you're trying to do, it's not like you can tell anybody because your wife is already mad at you for sitting at the computer, so you can't say, "Hey, honey, look what I did." It's like, I don't give a damn.
Well, what's great about it is my wife has no clue what I'm doing, so I tell her, this stuff for work.
It's real. You're
it's very
getting
important.
a lot done.
Yeah, I need to learn this. Yeah, I got a lot done tonight, so. I knocked off a good schedule.
Oh, boy.
I don't know what my wife wants from me anyway, because, I mean, listen, I've had sex with her 10 billion times. She says we should just want to spend time together. And I go, well, doing what? You know what, watching TV?
What'd you used to do?
I don't remember what she used to do. Well, I took her to a movie. That was a big event.
What'd you go to see?
A great film. The best movie out. Interview with the Vampire.
Oh, it's incredible.
Yeah, great movie. Did you guys see it too? Rob and I know saw it.
No, not yet.
Yeah. Oh, what a wonderful movie.
Scared to go because she liked it so much.
No, she's right about this one. This one's great. This one's great.
I'll tell you another movie that's great that surprised me.
Yeah.
The Santa Claus.
I heard that was good.
Incredibly funny.
Tim Allen is like the biggest box office star. He beat everyone.
Crying in the theater. That's how funny it is.
I was talking to a movie executive this weekend, and he says to me, I said, so what's the big movie? Is it Junior? Is it no? They go, Tim Allen. Who would have predicted that one?
Nobody.
Yeah.
And I didn't even want to go see it. I was like dragged to see it.
Yeah.
Had the best time I've had at a movie.
Really?
Very funny film.
Jackie's all upset. I was in a movie with that guy. I knew him.
Totally stupid premise, but it's funny.
Jackie, he was in jail for a couple of years, and he came out and passed you by.
Yeah, that's me like I'm standing still.
Yeah, because Jackie goes, I got started late, I was in music. No, Tim Allen was in jail.
You didn't have jail holding you back.
Right.
What's your excuse?
Maybe I should do jail. He's got the TV show. He could stay the hell home.
That's a pretty good line, Fred. Maybe I should do jail. What is it, Stuttering John?
I was just asking Gary. He told me to ask you, Jackie, how could all these guys that he was friends with, Jackie's a good guy. How come none of them put him in any of his shows or like Tim Allen?
Maybe Jackie has no talent.
Or maybe he's not a good guy.
Yeah.
Maybe I never had friends.
Maybe I'm the only idiot who likes Jackie. I always question that because Jackie does know a lot of people. I go, how come
claim that I have these massive relationships?
No, I don't mean massive.
I met him when we did that movie. I met him for 5 minutes.
I know, and he quickly forgot you. How come I stuck with you?
But what about,
You're crazy.
he used to tell us he knew Billy Crystal. And
Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy used to go to Jackie for advice.
He'd take rides from Jackie.
I won't even take rides from
Jackie. I had to say that I did know Eddie. I never said anything about knowing Billy Crystal in my entire life, and that.
Yeah, I think you did.
You did.
Bob Nelson.
Identical. Bob Nelson.
The triplets.
Yeah, Bob Nelson never included me in any of his major projects lately.
Yeah, like the bank commercial.
Yeah. Too much hair.
If you ask me, I think you're doing better than Bob Nelson.
That's a toss-up, but thank you.
Yeah. Well, anyway. Yeah, so I went to a movie with my wife, and that was like a big deal because, I never take her out anywhere.
Did you go by yourself?
Me, my wife, and my brother-in-law went, too. He tagged along. My brother-in-law was in town.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I went on, when did I go to the movies? I think I went,
Uh-oh. His brain is really going, you don't go that often, Howard. Had to be a big deal.
I think I went Saturday afternoon. I told my wife the theaters would be empty, and they were. I had it all planned out. The theater was completely empty.
Yeah.
I said, because it was a nice day. I said, it's Thanksgiving weekend. Who the hell
People will be out shopping.
Yeah.
You can have the movie all to yourself.
That's right. I don't know. But then my wife was happy because I took her somewhere. And then I said, we don't even talk during the movie, obviously. I said, so why can't I just take her to the movie, drop her off, and then pick her up afterwards? Right?
She could be sitting next to anyone.
Yeah, that I could have been computing on the Internet. The Internet. There I was, me and the Internet. I got wrapped up in that whole thing because I wanted to learn how to do it.
Yeah.
And I learned, and now that I've learned, I'm back to say, you don't need to learn.
But you have to have a directory, because you can't spend all day just looking at things.
No, you don't need a directory. You can go in there blindly and find stuff. You just got to, you know.
How?
Well, you go to...
You didn't do it.
No, I did it without a directory for 2 days.
But you didn't find anything you needed.
No, I don't think with a directory or without a directory you'd find anything you need. There's nothing that you need. It's all information that you ignore anyway. It's encyclopedias and, you know.
Oh.
I basically just read about myself. If I didn't have that to read, I'd be really bored.
Yeah.
You know, most of the internet is about me.
There's plenty about you even on the internet.
Yeah. That's what I've learned.
Well, I thought it was rather funny. Did you see the Daily News this weekend?
Yeah.
They used you to sell papers.
Yeah, I know. I was every
you were
page.
There a couple of pages, yeah.
Yeah. I saw a picture of me as a little kid, and that was a very weird experience. I was thumbing through the Daily News, and there was this big... And I'm looking at it, I go, wait, that's me.
Yeah.
And it was one of these Guess Who games. Guess who this cute little kid is? And they go, you know, that monster Howard Stern was the answer. No. But it was weird to open up a paper and see a picture of me as a little kid.
Right, because there was the picture of you right on the front cover.
Yeah.
With a really weird headline, so you didn't know what you had done now.
Right.
And so I'm leafing through looking for that. And then I see the picture of you as a little kid, and I'm like, what is going on here? This is the Howard paper.
Yeah, well, listen, who buys the Sunday Daily News? Let's be honest. Beside me and you.
I'm telling you, I said they're using you to sell papers now.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
I gotta tell you something. I gotta talk about this guy, Senator Jesse Helms. I'm gonna take some phone calls in a minute, but I gotta talk about this. I started in last week, but I never got to finish because we only have a 4.5-hour show.
It's never enough.
Yeah, not enough time for me to finish. Let me just get a little political for a second. You'll like this, though. This Senator Jesse Helms is such a piece of garbage. I told you last week he's lower than a styrofoam cup. You ever find a styrofoam cup on the side of the road that's been run over a couple of times? He's lower than that. This guy, Senator Jesse Helms, and it's an embarrassment to me that he sits in my United States Senate. Because don't forget, that's my Senate. That is your Senate and my Senate. But mostly my Senate.
Well, he was hired by a different group, not our group.
It doesn't matter. That is my country, and it is my Senate, and I'm embarrassed that he's a senator. I got to tell you something about this guy. He gets up there, this freak of nature, this horrible man, less than a man, a styrofoam cup. Gets up there with that southern accent here, and he said, the President of the United States better not come down here to North Carolina. Is it North Carolina?
Yes.
Yeah, the President of the United States better not come down here to North Carolina, because if he do, he would find out that if he can't try to set foot on one of them military bases, he better bring a bodyguard with him. That's what he says. That's my Senator Jesse Helms impression. Thank you. How was that?
Worked on that this week.
Yes, I did. Actually, I didn't. I don't know where it came from. But this skeeve who doesn't have the brains to pick cotton, he says that the President of the United States, the Commander-in-Chief, my President, better not go down to North Carolina on a military base because he needs a bodyguard. Now, let me tell you something. When you make a statement like that, what usually happens, if I was to make a statement like that on the radio, now, I know you don't believe this. I remember a couple of years ago when we were in Washington, I can't remember who made the statement, but it was a disc jockey who said something about sort of vaguely threatening the life of the president. Do you remember who? Do you remember who it was?
I can't. That vaguely rings a bell, but I can't remember who did it.
I remember it was sort of a frivolous comment, and I remember that the Secret Service and the FBI came down and questioned this guy for a couple of days.
Yeah, he had visitors.
He had visitors, and everyone, was kind of like, wow, this is kind of insane, but that's what they do. When you threaten the life of the president or you say you know of a plot against the life of the president of the United States, you have to be questioned. If I got on the radio right now and said, I know of a plot going on in a military base to overthrow the president of the United States or to kill the president of the United States, they would make your life miserable. I would be investigated for 3 or 4 days. Now, if you think I'm lying, I'm not. And Senator Jesse Helms, he should be, everyone treats us as a big joke.
Well, I
they should take them.
This sounds like a threat on the president's life to me. I don't know why nobody's taking it seriously.
What they should do is they should have the FBI and the Secret Service go down. Now that Senator Helms has said that he knows of a plot, they should go down like they do with every other citizen. Forget that he's a senator. And I'm dead serious, but I'm not saying this tongue-in-cheek. They should go down and find out what this imbecile knows.
But wait a minute, Howard.
Maybe he knows something.
They have done better than that. They've given him a chairmanship.
Yeah. Well, first of all, he doesn't deserve that chairmanship after a gaffe like this one. And if he is aware, listen, a United States Senator is aware of a lot of things. Now that he has made us aware of the fact that he knows that there is a plot on the president's life by the military in this country, this is very serious, and he should be investigated, and he should be made to turn over all information that is available to him, and he should be interrogated. That's what should happen to this guy. Where is the FBI? Where is the Secret Service? Why are they not?
Senators and congressmen who would stand up and say, Senator Jesse Helms, we demand that you give us this information, or we demand that you tell us that you were just shooting off your mouth.
This guy is such a piece of garbage. You know, and everyone's saying, well, he was just saying that. No. How come if a disc jockey makes a comment? Or what if a
disc jockey who's not in the position of knowing anything?
Well, what if some black militant got up and said, by the way, if President Clinton ever goes down to the military base down in North Carolina, I happen to know for a fact that he better bring a bodyguard because you would see this guy interrogated for the next 2 months. You think the FBI would take that lightly? And there should be no double standard. Jesse Helms should be harassed and interrogated by the FBI and the Secret Service. Because, listen, if there is a plot against my president, I think that these guys ought to find out about it.
Not only a plot, but if the military did it, Howard, wouldn't that be a coup?
Yeah, and who's to say Senator Jesse Helms is kidding? I saw the interview. He didn't seem to be kidding about anything. Why are we excusing this guy? Why are we excusing this guy?
I heard
he's a big chump.
By Senator Bob Dole, who's like the head muckety-muck.
Well, poor Bob Dole, you know, the Republican Party finally got some respect, and this guy knows how to behave, Dole. He knows how to play the game. He's got this Newt Gingrich, who's an embarrassment, and this Jesse Helms, who's even worse, and he's got to deal with these guys now. But
what he said, Howard, was that, you know, he's, I guess, had a conversation with Mr. Helms.
Yeah.
And he now understands. Now, to me, if you have to have a conversation with a guy like this, he doesn't need the job you're about to give him.
Right.
He says, well, Jesse now understands as a chairman, his remarks will be taken more seriously, and that people will find what he says more newsworthy. And I think he understands that now, and you will find that he will act very responsibly.
No. There's a difference. I got to correct Bob Dole. There's a difference between some senator, Jesse Helms, making some dumb statement and talking about a plot against the presidency of the United States. It is two different things. And this is my point. These guys finally get into power, these Republican guys. And I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. You've heard me endorse Republican candidates and Democratic candidates. But I'm going to tell you something. You finally get power, and what's Jesse Helms still harping about? President Clinton, President Clinton, President Clinton. Do something. Now you're in power. Now you've got some clout. Do something. Stop with President Clinton and threatening his life. If he come down to North Carolina, he's gonna be in big trouble. He's gonna get killed. Now, when someone makes a statement like that, he's got to be investigated. What is this? You got to go down there and give him the business now, just like you would anybody else. I'm telling you, I remember a case. There was a disc jockey. I wish I knew. If somebody knows in Washington, D.C., the guy made some kind of statement about the president. You know, like he was going to kill the president or something. They came down, and it was an obvious tongue-in-cheek thing. Mm-hmm. In fact, a lot less obvious was Senator Jesse Helms, who I saw him. He seemed to be dead serious that he knew something.
Well, it sounded like treason to me, as treasonous as the statements by Oliver North.
Right. You bet.
Wouldn't you, if you had the senator, a U.S. senator in your state, saying, you know, if a president comes to the military base, he better have a bodyguard?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you, as, you know, some wacko out there, say yourself, You know what? That's right. Senator Helms wants me to kill the president.
Yeah, and not only that, I mean, come on. These guys are so vicious in their attacks against the other party that they literally are talking about killing the president. They're so anti the president. I mean, Senator Jesse Helms doesn't want our president to do well.
He doesn't want the people to elect a president anymore. He would prefer his own president.
Is there no patriotism anymore?
Because that's basically what he's saying. The man was elected.
Yeah, but not by him.
We'd like to see him shot.
Right.
Because we don't like him.
What a nincompoop. What a nitwit. They should really not let this one slide. They can't. That's what I wanted to say. That's all. I got to take a break. When we come back, I'm going to take some phone calls. We'll be back right after these words.
This is Al Michaels. Al Michaels. Anybody think this is a farcical show, a fake performance? This is the real Howard Stern.
The sportscaster with the mostest, Al Michaels. We love him. That's my man. He's my man. If I was a woman, I'd sleep with him.
Well, he's taken.
Yeah, I know, unfortunately.
You just have to sit around and wait, hoping that he'd one day be free.
If his wife dies, I'm going to get a sex change operation. It's like, Al. Hey, by the way, you watched the Jet game?
Part of it, not the whole thing.
Oh, what a game.
Really?
What a great game. I mean, the Jets lost.
Oh, you're kidding.
No.
I only saw the early moments. They were up by 3 by the time I was gone.
The Jets were up by so much, the game was over. It was getting dull. Then third quarter, everything turned around.
What happened? How much were they up by?
They were up 24-6 with a minute left in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Stop it.
24-6. And they lost.
And how they lost.
It was so, you got to admit, it was a great game.
You know, like some teams show highlights of their great wins.
Yeah.
The Jets really have a highlight film of their great collapses.
I know. What happened? Can you figure out what happened?
They are notorious for that.
You know, I kept saying the whole first half, I said the Jets are going to put out so much energy the first half, they're going to be too poop to pop at the end. All of a sudden, it all came true.
Well, part of the problem really is that Dan Marino is like one of the greatest.
No.
Showed his stats. You know,
that's a lot of points to make up.
Yeah.
If that one dude did you see that? Who was the guy who made the catch and then didn't fall into the end zone?
Well, it wasn't his fault. I mean, that wasn't his fault.
He fell forward.
But that's because he had to grab the ball. There was
come on. I could have even spun around and gotten into the end zone.
You're supposed to get your feet in there, right?
Yeah. The guy catches balls for a living.
They blew a lot of opportunities early on. They should have been up, if they were up 24-6, they should have been up 34-6.
Yeah, exactly, because the first quarter, the Jets were on the 1 yard line scoring. And even with that, they were up like 24-6. I was shocked. Madly watching the game.
But tell Robin what happened on the last play, the way the Jets lost. Did you see it?
Yeah.
It was 24 seconds left. Miami was down by, by 3.
This is unbelievable.
And they were driving, and usually what happens, Miami put time out, so usually what happens is as the clock's ticking down, the quarterback steps back, spikes the ball on the ground, and that stops the clock.
Right.
So instead, they took everyone by surprise.
The Jets
they expected that.
The Jets had their backs to Miami.
And the Jets have weird defense anyway. They give everybody way too much room, as the guy was explaining yesterday on TV. It's true. They don't cover anybody tight. So as a result, what would happen is any team that plays them could just go for short yardage all the way down the field, and that's what they did. That's exactly what they did.
But the last play, there was about 23 seconds left, and the guy took the ball into the end zone. You know, Marino threw it, and everyone thought it was like offside or something. The Jets were all standing there. They were standing up.
Yeah. They were waiting for them to spike the ball. You're supposed to spike the ball.
Yeah, you're not playing right.
Yeah. Wait a second. You don't throw the ball here.
In fact, what happened was Marino dropped back and was about to just dump the ball, and then he saw that everyone was sleeping.
Yeah. Right.
Wasn't even like a designed play. He just saw the Jets asleep.
You think he was going to dump back and spike the ball?
For a second he was thinking about it.
Right.
And then he just saw that they weren't doing anything.
And he threw it.
Nobody was rushing him. Nobody was covering anybody. And the guy's standing alone in the end zone.
You think he tells his team, like, okay, go out and run a play, and I might even throw it to you? Or do you think he just was going to spike the ball?
I don't know. Well, he must have said the first thing because the guy didn't run a play.
Right.
Otherwise, no one would have run to the end zone.
So he probably says to him, look, I'm probably going to spike the ball, but be out there just in case.
We can catch him off guard.
Right.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do, right?
Here comes a real man, Tom Chisano.
That was a designed play.
Which was?
Last play, the last play where Marino faked he was going to throw in the ball on the ground. Thought that up. The backup had designed that play.
Oh, really?
They practiced it a lot, and they just sucked him in. It was awful.
Oh, no kidding. Oh, so you mean when he went to go, it looked like he was going to go spike it.
And the Jets bought the fake, and they scored the touchdown.
Oh, that's amazing.
That is
really
amazing.
That was one of the most. I've been a Jet fan for a long time. It was one of the most painful losses I've ever seen.
I was dying because I really wanted the Jets to win.
Me too, absolutely. And Fred, I have no water today.
Okay. And I watched it. And I watched that with Tom. Always messes up his appearances. He's going back 4 days where he threw some water at Fred.
A week and a half ago.
You always ruin my show. Get out, please.
But it was a design play.
It was? Okay, thanks. Okay. Well, you'll never be on air. Fred, I have no water today. Like the audience knows what he's talking about. Happened at 11 o'clock.
I don't know what he's talking about either.
I know.
I do the show, and I don't know what he's talking about.
Unfortunately, I know what Tom's talking about.
But we're talking football here. Why did he even bring that?
He sucks.
Okay.
So you know,
I just wanted to know why.
Yeah. Now you know.
So you know the Jets were playing for first place yesterday.
Yeah, of course they did.
And now you know that they're, now
they're 2 out of first.
Well, they're not going to win first place. Now they'll be lucky to get a wild card, except everybody in the division is bunched up.
Yeah.
So they're tied. They're 6-6. They play New England this week, who's 6-6. Just lose one more game. They're in last place.
Unbelievable. They went from being in a 3-way tie for first, just about one game away. Unbelievable. The Jets are losers. And I was just, I was really getting into the Jets. I was really trying. Boomer Esiason, I dig the whole thing.
He's really good.
He's really, he's got to be going, well, what the hell happened? I had a great game. He had a great game.
He had that bad interception at the end that really hurt them, but still, he had a great game.
What happened to the defense? He was up. He had them up by how many points?
Yeah,
had them up by a lot.
You can't do much better than that. And they're falling for everything.
Yeah,
the other guys have to do their part.
I blame the coach for one reason.
What's that?
Their defense really does suck. I mean, the fact that he plays his guys so far back and allows everyone to have all that short yardage for free. I mean, just to let them... You know what I'm talking about?
No.
All right, here was the whole big criticism of the game. The Jets' defense, when they cover these guys, it's almost like it's a zone defense.
Like a prevent.
Right. It prevents a guy from going long. You keep all your guys back so that, so if a guy gets short yardage. But meanwhile, short yardage was like 10 yards. That's not so short yardage.
That's a first down.
That's a first down each time. The coach should call me for advice. I don't know anything about football. I sound like a moron when I talk about football, but it was painfully obvious that no one was being covered tightly. Did you check that out when Mark Albert...
Well, they showed that one thing where they drew it on the little chalkboard, and there was like 15 yards on each side of the guy. They gave him too much room.
But that was the whole drive at the end.
Yeah.
15 yards. How do you give a guy 15 yards?
Because you know what? They're afraid to give up the big play. That's what happens. They're afraid that if they cover too tight, a guy gets burnt.
So give me 15 yards every time, and I'll win. Right?
Absolutely. You can keep the ball all day too. You got ball control. You got everything.
You got everything.
It looked like it was going to be an overtime game.
Yeah.
And then it was crushing.
There was a better game on Saturday, Florida and Florida State.
Oh, you watched that?
I watched some of it. I had to go out and see Interview with the Vampire.
You like college football?
They dragged you away.
Well, my brother-in-law's a big fan, and we started watching it. And then meanwhile, I said to him, first of all, the score was like 10-0 and everything, and it looked like, I guess it was, who was up at first? It was it? I get confused.
I do too.
Okay. So anyway.
You watch these games and you still don't know.
I said to him, come see Interview with the Vampire. You might as well, because he's a big football fan. He goes, well, this is the big game of the year, but you know what? And he went to Florida State or something. He says, but you know what? This game's already over. It was first quarter. It's already over. I can see already. So he said, let's go. It's going to suck. I said, well, you're not going to be mad if somehow the other team ties it up and they go. He goes, it's never going to happen. Let's go. Sure enough, we get back from Interview with a Vampire. It seems that the score was like 24-0 or something. The other team comes back, ties it up, and then ties up the game, and it becomes a tie game.
Yeah, I think it ended like 31-31.
Yeah, 31-31.
That's how they ended?
Yeah.
Ooh, they don't break ties?
No.
Wow.
So my brother-in-law was like banging his head against the wall.
He missed all that.
Because he lives for that game.
Oh, boy.
But Interview with the Vampire is really good.
He could have seen that anytime. It's running another time later on.
He handled it. My brother-in-law is a weird guy. I mean, like, he's so into sports that he has games on from the second he comes into my house. For the whole Thanksgiving Day weekend, he has games on. And I don't even know where these games are.
It was funny because I went to brunch somewhere the other day, and I guess it's one of these places that really takes its sports seriously. All over the mirrors, instead of mirror anymore, you have boxes for every game. And then they had every game that was on listed.
Wow.
Pay-per-view on Saturdays now is college games. like if you went to a certain college and they're not showing it locally, you can order the game on pay-per-view.
Well, my brother-in-law literally has a game on every second that we're in the house, and I'm like, wow, I didn't even know there was this much football on TV.
How does he know?
He has golf, he has basketball, and my brother-in-law is getting real fat. He must weigh about... You saw him.
He looked a little chunkier than, you know...
He's got a big belly. And I'm like, well, dude, why don't you get out and play some sports?
No, he likes watching them.
Yeah.
But you want to talk about, like, weird people who are into sports? John and I have this... John's got this new stockbroker.
Yeah.
He's a really big Jet fan.
Yeah.
He follows the Jets. So, like, I spoke to him, like, 2 weeks ago, and he goes, well, I won't be in the office on Friday. I'm going to Minnesota.
Right.
You know, I got to go follow the Jets.
Yeah.
So you don't mean he just watches the games. He follows them. He gets on a plane and goes wherever they are.
Fly city to city.
I had a manly weekend. All I did was mess around with my computer, watch football, and then I played cards Friday night.
Oh, yeah? How was the card game?
So Gary shows up. And, Gary, you left early.
Yeah, I heard.
Who do you think was the big winner of the night?
Well, Ralph, when I left, Ralph was way, way up. But Dominic had some weird thing. You guys were doing something weird. Like, that's not the usual card game. When I left, Dominic was dealing blackjack, and Dominic had the most gigantic stack of money in front of him.
Well, he was the house.
And he was the house.
So who do you think was the biggest winner of the night?
Ralph.
Me. Guess how much I won?
How much?
On the blackjack?
No. $850.
Well...
See, I never lose. Hey, let me tell you something.
Wait a second. Now, did you win because you won, or did you win because like they were playing blackjack and they were kidding around and Dominic's going,
no.
Stern odds, 10 to 1.
No, he didn't give me any special odds.
Didn't deal from the bottom of the jack.
In fact, I lost on blackjack.
And you still came away with $850?
Yep. Gary, you never would have guessed that, would you?
No.
That I was the winner of the night.
Were you losing most of the night?
No, you was about average.
I was actually in the beginning. I was winning, and I was playing poker really good, and then. I don't know, and then, I don't know, everything just kind of got dull for me. You know, I didn't get any good hands or anything. I tried to bluff a few hands.
That didn't work.
That didn't work. And then I played some blackjack. I was kind of floating about even. Then I was down about $100, and then I just, I don't know, we played some weird games at the end.
I heard that you guys...
win?
Well, we played games like where you just, everybody throws in a couple $100, and... And it's this giant pot, and everyone deals 5 cards, and whoever has the best hand wins. And I started winning like crazy.
You deal 5 cards up. You know, it's not even skill. It's just what you get.
Yeah. No, that's how you won. You didn't win through any skill.
He won?
Gary won some money, but not through any skill. It was one of these games where they deal cards up. But,
I won like $300, but then I ended up giving back Dominic about 150 of it playing blackjack. And
Gary was a pretty good card player.
Yeah.
I don't know why he was all paranoid.
I thought you guys were like really... I'm not saying that you guys are bad, but I thought you guys were like insane, like, you know, memorize cards and stuff. Yeah. It's a cool card game.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, man, it's just all it is tormenting Ralph is the whole game. Because the whole thing got to be like, you started kidding around and saying like Ralph.
You want to know something's weird? My brother-in-law is so unconscious. My wife says, well, how bad did Ralph get it this time? Because she knows that all we do is we goof on Ralph. And my brother-in-law goes, nobody said anything to Ralph. I go, boy, are you the least observant human being on the planet or what?
The whole deal.
The whole time they're calling Ralph a queen, and every time instead, like we play the game, you know, in poker you have jacks are better, and then it's queens are better. It would be Ralphs or better.
I got 2 Ralphs.
He's the queen.
Okay, 3 Ralphs bets. It was like the whole night.
Yeah, and Ralph just kept downing Courvoisier so that he could forget that he was the queen. Jägermeister.
Did you make him cry?
I think he started getting all upset in the beginning.
You know, it doesn't even faze me anymore.
No, you were crying in the beginning because you couldn't play with me.
You got to be
Were there 2 tables?
There were 2 tables.
I was just out of it. Everybody was like...
Did you get stoned before the game?
No, I was just tired, and it took me a little while to get into it. When I started winning, I got into it.
I leaned over to Howard at one point. I said, you know, it's pretty cool to be at one of these things and not be the brunt of the jokes and watch someone else get it.
Gary didn't get any teeth jokes.
Well, one tooth joke.
Yeah, what was that? Neil gave you one.
No, I won a really big hand, and Dominic yelled over from the other table, he's hiding aces in his teeth.
No, I heard the one where you didn't have any chips, and you had a bet, and someone said, why don't you just put down a couple of teeth?
Yeah. And then it was all like, every time I lost, it's like, oh, Jackson can't go to college.
Yeah, it was a lot of like, Jackson and all this.
It was tame compared.
Yeah.
Ralph was a queen all night.
Ralph has to anesthetize himself so he can take the ribbing.
Wayne Siegel got it pretty bad.
I just sat there and took their money.
Wayne Siegel got it real bad.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah,
real bad.
Oh.
So who wound up being at the card game? I don't even know the line.
It was tons of guys.
Yeah?
It was me and Fafa Fooey showed up late. And I told everyone Jackie wouldn't come. Because everyone was saying, like, even with Fafa Fooey and Jackie, everyone was just saying, how can you, like, say, oh, I'm going to try to be there? Like, Like, either you're going to be there or you're not.
Sometimes you have relatives that might be coming to town, and they might not. And they,
but you can make a decision by, you can make a decision whether you're going to go or not. Not Jackie.
Free form it is.
Yeah, everything's free form.
People might just show up.
Right. So I even said to them, don't rely on Jackie for the game, because if you're going to, invite guys who are going to come. And then Fafa Fui didn't show up till about an hour later, which everyone was kind of shocked that he showed up.
Yeah, because he might have had his nephew. He couldn't tell either.
Actually, my nephew went to visit his friend that night, so I was open.
Yeah. So Fafa Fui showed up. So it was me, Fafa Fui, Ralph, Dominic. Dominic put out some spread. We had tons of food over at the Garden City Hotel. That place is great. They got great food there.
Yeah?
How about some desserts?
Yeah, all of a sudden, Dominic, we're just sitting there, and somebody goes, I want dessert. Yeah, so Dominic goes, we need chocolate. So they send up, like, these chocolate things, and then it's not enough. Dominic goes, I know, ice cream. 2 minutes later, there's like 10 people with those giant trays, and they put them out in front of you, and it's like these.
It was an orgy.
It was like a food orgy.
Yeah, it was a food orgy.
Now you're making Jackie sorry he missed it.
He had like 5 different kinds of pastas, steaks, potatoes, shrimp, rice. All kinds of fruits.
Bowl of salad.
And, of course, open bar. Like,
now, see, that's a card game. There's no sandwiches, no coffee.
No. Guys eating and farting and card playing.
Like, all of a sudden, Ralph decides, I need a shot of Jägermeister, but it's not at the bar. Boom, there's a girl up there. She's got it, like, on a tray, like Ralph's important. She puts it down in front of him.
Yeah, right, Jägermeister.
Now, do you guys smoke cigars and everything?
No
get
smoking.
Into that real manly thing?
You know who's weird? Town Car Jack was there.
He's scary.
And he doesn't say a word the whole night, and then all of a sudden he disappeared. He never even said goodbye to anyone.
Oh, really?
You're kidding.
Yeah, he didn't say goodbye to anyone.
So you know who I thought was weird? That scared the hell out of me? Dominic's driver.
Oh, he's a good guy.
Is he?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't talk to him. He just said a quick hello.
No, Tom. No one even knows his name.
Everyone's equal at this game.
Yeah. And then
so there was
Ronnie, the limo driver. Town Car Jack was there.
Neil,
who has a bad shoulder and is cannot deal his own cards now. And then he sits the whole time like this, and I have to deal the cards for him.
Yeah, I had to deal.
And then there was Wayne, and we basically goofed on Wayne because. Are we allowed to talk about that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even know.
But you know what?
Right in my ear.
Well, you know.
He's getting a sex change.
That's going?
Well, he hasn't been living at his house.
Right.
Yeah. So we every pot that he would win or spend money, we go, hey, 50 cents of that is not yours, and goof on him.
An open sore, we were pouring salt in it every moment.
Salt in the wound every minute.
All right.
And then,
but you know what's funny?
That was fun.
You know what's funny about Neil? Neil's sitting there with his arm up in the air because it hurts. So finally, it hurts so bad that Neil goes and lays on the couch sideways with his arm out like that, but he has to still play cards. Right. So Ralph would sit next to him, so Ralph would ante in for him, and like Ralph would yell to him what he had, and he would throw money in the pot.
Yeah. And then who else was there?
How can you play
Dan Foreman.
Oh, Dan Foreman was there.
But how can Neil play cards when everybody's going to know his hand if Ralph is yelling out what he's got?
Who knows? Doesn't matter.
He would get up like once in a while to look at it.
And then my 2 IBM friends, Jeff and Eddie, were there. Jeff Schick and Eddie. And I told you Ronnie was there. Yeah.
That guy Eddie's a good card player.
Yeah, real good.
Did he win a lot?
He won some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, who loses?
Dominic loses everything. Dominic's not satisfied till he loses.
You got to take that whole pile of money that he's got sitting in front of him.
And then if Dominic's winning, which I didn't see, then if Dominic's like, all right, we're going to Scores. We're going to Atlantic City. He's got to figure out ways to spend more money.
Yeah, I know. A lot of the guys were going to go to Scores afterwards, but I was beat.
Yeah.
No, if you went, everybody would have gone.
Yeah, right.
Ralph is disappointed in you, obviously.
Well, everyone starts screaming, let's go to Scores afterwards, and they wait to hear what I'm going to say. And then I just said, well, I'm kind of tired. I'm going home. And then it's like, oh.
Hey, guess not.
I guess we're not going to Schools then.
Right.
You know what I don't understand? Like, I thought that was a really fun game, but you were there or not, it still would have been fun. I don't understand why Dominic cancels it when you don't go.
I don't know. That's a whole thing.
Because it's not like...
You see, the game isn't fun for Dominic unless I'm there, because Dominic thinks the game is too low stakes.
Right.
Dominic wants to lose a lot of money. He gets upset because the game is just $1, $2.
Does he play poker at any other time with other people?
Oh, I'm sure he plays everything.
What he does.
Who knows what he does? His wife doesn't know what he does.
We figured out that what he never does is go home.
Right. I said, how is it you don't have to go home for the entire Thanksgiving weekend and you're married?
Where does he go?
I got to go to Zabar's and eat.
He goes to Zabar's in order to some white.
Every day is Thanksgiving for him.
He never goes home and he never works. You know what I mean?
Yet he has all this money.
Yeah.
Where is it coming from?
I don't know. It's a good deal, though, I'll tell you that.
Dominic always says he's up, but you know he loses.
Yeah, right.
He goes, oh, yeah, I'm up a couple of dollars.
And he's got a big pile of money because he just keeps,
he's pulling it out of his pocket.
Right.
Just piles it up.
See, he's a typical guy who hangs around casinos.
Right.
Those guys never lose, but the casinos still swimming with money.
Yeah.
Did you guys have to watch him like a hawk or anything?
Yeah, we did.
Or did you instruct him?
No, we made him. No, we made him.
Good?
Yeah, he was good. We made him cut the deck. He wasn't allowed to shuffle the cards even.
You brought a new deck and all that.
Oh yeah.
I do have to say, Howard, that there were two tables. One was the one that Howard was at that had the higher stakes, and then there was sort of like the scrubby table.
Same stakes.
No,
in fact, the other table had higher stakes than me. Those guys went to $4 on the last hand. We never play that.
But it was it was $7 ante at your table, $2 ante at the other table.
That was the only difference because.
Well, that was ridiculous. If you have 7 guys playing, it's $1 for instead of anteing each time all of us, you just put up 7 when you deal.
But our table when we started playing, they didn't want to ante that much. They just put $2.
I know you were
like,
I don't know what was that.
Your table was the more exciting table.
It was.
And then Dan figured out this thing where you had to switch every hour, and everybody took a card, and it was a different color. It was like
Gary has a whole hard-on for Dan Foreman. I could tell Gary was bumming out because he wasn't playing with Dan Foreman.
I love Dan.
Yeah, but take it easy.
So I don't need
you
to play
sounded like a girl. Am I going to get to play with Dan? Am I going? Dude, why don't you just pull down your pants and go in the men's room with him?
What's so great about Dan?
I don't know. Gary has a love affair with him.
He's a great guy.
He's a great guy.
I never get to see him, so I thought we could play.
So great that you have to play with him.
Instead, I had to sit next to your brother-in-law.
Yeah, so what? Gary wants
nobody like your brother-in-law.
No, he's a good guy.
Gary thinks Dan's going to give him a job when I fire him.
I think Howard's brother-in-law is actually a lot of fun. He really is. We talk sports.
Yeah, he's a great guy. What is it?
Dominic's on the phone.
Oh.
Howard, can I just ask one question? I want to ask Dominic one question. Forgetting the card game, I'd like to know what the tab was from that night. I'm curious.
He's not going to talk about that.
Good morning.
Good morning. Do you want to you want to answer Gary's question?
What's the question?
About what the tab was for the night?
Sure, 4 queens.
What do you want?
I heard no comment on how thin I looked.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
He loses weight, but he's still like an obese guy.
He's like Oprah. He'll gain it back.
Yeah, but he's less obese, and he's the softest human being I've ever seen. Like, there's not a muscle on him.
And Howard, admit it, when he ordered that ice cream, even though he didn't need any, it was almost like
watching a guy torture himself.
But he enjoyed watching us eat it. It was like the next best thing.
Dominic has this weird move around food. Hello?
He doesn't even want to talk to you about it.
He must be on his car phone.
Hello?
His belly accidentally hung up the phone.
Yeah. Dominic has this weird move around food. So Dominic puts out this whole big buffet, right? And he's like every fat guy in America. He doesn't want to be seen eating. So we're all, gorging on this food and eating and eating and eating. Dominic's just moving around, making sure everyone's
He doesn't even have a bite.
Doesn't have a bite. He's like, I'll eat later. So it's like, we're all, just walking around, and he's, and he's talking to, I go, Dominic, eat something. Stop with the charade. You know you're hungry. Look at all this beautiful food.
And look at you. You know you eat.
I'm going to eat. You there? Hello?
Yeah, I got cut off.
I'm talking about your eating habits.
I'm jogging while we talk.
Yeah. And so he walks around and everything, and he still has his pants from when he was fat. You know what I mean? And
so
it's
he's showing you how much room there is?
Yeah, right. So so he walks around and his pants are always falling down. And so he lost a fat Fred Flintstone.
A thin Fred Flintstone.
Yeah. And they look like clown pants because they're so big. He should just wear big shoes, then he'd be a clown.
Big red wig.
And every time he turns around, Neil cracks up and everyone starts laughing because Dominic's pants look so funny on him.
See, that's what I like. Encouragement. You've lost a lot. You're going to lose more.
So he loses. So then I'm watching him, right? So then we're sitting and playing. And at one point during the game, when he thinks everyone's preoccupied, then he runs over to the buffet.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And the first thing he does is he loads on his plate the rice and the shrimp and the this and the that. And I see, eats that, chows it down. You figure, okay, normal guy on a diet. That he'd be. First of all, it's fattening food, but he'd be done. No. Then a couple of minutes later, you see him. He goes over. He takes a small little plate, not a dinner plate, small plate, loads it up with the macaronis, covered with nice cheese all over, right? And he's sitting down, he's eating that. I'm watching him. And he's... And he eats that, but very demure, eating slow, almost not interested in it, but little plates, so it doesn't look... Yeah, he's having a little piece at a time.
You get the impression if we weren't there, he wouldn't even be using silverware.
Right. And then you watch him swell into his pants as they start to expand. And then he gets a little of this and a little of that and a little of that. And so he must have had about 7 trips to the buffet.
Oh, yeah?
But all little trips, But meanwhile, you add it all up. It was like what a cow eats.
But you kept saying, eat a little more, Dominic. Don't worry.
Well, it's absurd to...
And you're laughing inside.
Yeah, but it's you know what's funny about you? It's absurd to sit and try and disguise it. You're a fat man, and everyone knows you're eating.
See that?
So eat the food. Go up with us and eat with a joy and a verve.
Some ice cream.
Do you understand? And then of course, the ice cream comes, and now Dominic's going to show me he's on a diet. He's doing this for my benefit. He wanted the ice cream. So he goes over, he gets an orange, right? And he's peeling the orange, and he's eating this. You want to vomit from him eating because you know he's gagging on it.
This is the first orange he's ever eaten.
And he sucks it down, and he's looking at them eating the ice cream. You see he's getting dizzy.
He's chewing on his
And I go, Dominic, how's that orange? He goes,
"There's the worst piece of fruit I ever ate. There's no ice cream in that."
And you know what? It's not just, Robert, it's not just a dish of ice cream. It's a big thing of ice cream covered in candied chocolate with whipped cream on top in a raspberry sauce. I mean, this is like a real raspberry
in the center.
I mean, the Garden City Hotel has beautiful food.
Charlie Hammond did some job for us.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he's a good man.
Good job.
Did the right thing. Old Charlie. Old Charlie gets you through.
Did you notice where I threw the orange out?
Charlie. Charlie, I'll let the candle to him.
So the rumor is, Howard, that you know that guy Don Lear that plays with us?
Yeah.
He cleaned Dominic out. That's what they're saying.
Oh, yeah. Well, everyone cleaned him out.
I won.
No. He didn't clean Dominic. No, you weren't there. You weren't at the end of the game.
Because Wayne Siegel just called.
No. Here's the point.
I came out of a blackjack game winning a lot of money.
I was sitting right
And then who took all the money from you?
You.
Right.
I was sitting next to Don. He cleaned Dominic out. You had to win close to $1,000.
Wouldn't that?
No. You don't know any. What do you got to mention an amount? What's the difference what the guy lost or won?
Well,
you don't do that to
count
somebody. You don't do that to somebody, you big queen.
By the way,
I don't even know what he did. What did he do that was so bad?
Just now? He's mentioning amounts that Dominic might have lost. It's not a manly thing to do. You don't talk about what a guy loses. You just say, if you win, you win. It's a gentlemanly thing.
How come at the end of the game, when we're playing blackjack, you keep finding chips on the floor, Ralph? Every 2 minutes, you come up with $4, $11.
What do you mean?
You got to understand how annoying Ralph is at a card game. Everybody hates Ralph. You got to understand something.
Especially when I'm winning.
We're all playing cards, right? And Ralph is betting like $3 or $13.
I was getting rid of the chips.
He's getting rid of his chips. And no one can break. So when he wins, nobody has like $13 to hand him. And you know what I mean? It's just like, so skip the $3 bet. So rack it up that you made a $3 loss, Ralph, and just bet the $10 or bet 15. Bet in increments of 5. He's the only one sitting and counting his dollar chips.
$11 bet.
Yeah, $11 bet.
Hey, $1's a dollar.
Did you find the garbage in your bag, Ralph?
No, what garbage?
Dominic's up there.
Garbage that I stuck in your pants?
Did you load garbage into his bag?
Yeah, of course.
Ralph brings
he put an orange peel there.
Ralph brings a bag with him, one of his knapsacks.
Yeah.
Nampy thing.
His purse. Ralph brings a purse with him. And he packs it full of plastic bags so he can take all the food home with him.
I didn't do that.
All right, so I saw what you had. I said you had plastic bags. Admit you brought plastic bags. Okay, all right. Okay.
Wait a second.
I was joking. I said I was
You
gonna.
told me on Wednesday you were going to bring
it. You joked.
And then I said, Ralph, why don't you bring Tupperware?
So
Good idea.
So Ralph brings these little bags and stuff in there. So when Dominic eats, he throws his garbage in Ralph's bag.
And then Ralph orders all these special drinks, and the waitress comes like she's going into Garden City to get it, and he gives her a plastic chip for a tip.
Oh, no.
Hey,
Ralph,
you are, Atlantic City?
This young waitress is working hard, and, she comes up to the room with Ralph's special liquor, and Ralph doesn't even tip her.
Who asked her to come?
He waits for Dominic to tip her. Who asked her to come?
Dominic stole all my money last time, so he can pay her.
So how come you didn't miss the Jet game? I thought you had a christening.
I did.
Did you miss the game?
Well, we left at 2:15.
You left it. No.
I left the game at 2:15.
Yeah.
Right. So the christening started at 2:30. And I was home by 3.
Oh, no kidding.
It's a short ceremony.
That's it?
That's it.
And you don't have to hang out with your family afterwards?
No
reception? I said, hey, go eat the hero. I'll be watching the Jet game.
And so what time did you get back to the Jet game?
3 o'clock.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, I missed maybe 40 minutes.
Does the christening take place at a church?
Church is a half mile away.
Oh.
I would have liked to hear the priest when he's saying in Latin all the expressions, and he usually says an Italian name. He had to say Jackson.
Jackson Delabate. So listen to this. So Gary.
Jackson's christening.
So Gary made a faux pas at the christening.
Uh-oh.
But I side with Gary on this one. So Gary goes to the christening, and Gary's been at christenings before, but he never had a kid before. So he goes there, and the priest was like hanging around afterwards, hanging around, and Gary doesn't know what the hell's going on. So his father-in-law says to him afterwards, "What'd you give the priest?" Gary goes, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Did you tip the priest?" And Gary goes, "No, I didn't tip the priest. I didn't know to tip the priest."
It's not a tip, by the way. It's an honorarium or a donation.
I am not Catholic, and I know you have to do that.
Well, anyway, you know, America is the only country, and this is true for people who've traveled the world. I've heard this. America is the only country that gets into this incessant tipping, to the point where you go to a religious service and you don't know whether who you're supposed to give money to.
It's mandatory.
I know wherever I walk, I'm just throwing people money because because you don't want to be considered cheap.
Right.
Now, I'm sure the guy must have thought you were a real skivosa for not giving him any money.
So I'm sending my wife over to the rectory today. She's going to give him a thank you card. But, you know, same thing happened at our wedding.
Yeah.
You didn't know to do that?
No, I did know, but at a wedding you have to and it's not cheap either. I think at a wedding you're supposed to give like $100.
How much do you tip a priest?
I gave him 50.
At the wedding?
No, 100 at the wedding, 50 for the christening.
But I tipped the priest at the wedding also.
Get out of here.
I go to a wake, I give the corpse $10.
Yeah, I guess you even have to pay for a funeral, huh?
You're not
the
kidding.
best man supposed to tip the...
Yeah, he did. Right, he did. But there's no best man at a christening. In other words, we made sure the priest was taken care of at the wedding.
Yeah, but who knew at the christening you're supposed to... You know, it's kind of tacky to walk up to a religious man and start giving him a tip.
I don't know why they don't just charge you.
Exactly.
They should. Don't they? Because I know, like, everyone...
And what do? You just slide a 50 into the priest's hand?
You say, "Hey, thank you very much," and you hand him money. Because I know... I read in Ann Landers, I swear to God, I read in Ann Landers that priests don't make a lot of money.
Of course not. They're married to God.
That you shouldn't be insulted to give them money.
Right.
But the point is,
it feels weird.
They take a vow of poverty.
So the guy was hanging around like a bellhop in a
How do you gauge how much you give him? Like, if he makes it shorter, do you give him more money? If
Jackie,
he gets laughs?
who even knows? I know I tip. I weigh. When someone tells me I got to tip somebody, if my kids have a birthday party, I'm tipping hundreds to people.
You know what? I asked my father-in-law because at his church, he's like the guy with the collection plate, so he said 50 was good.
Yeah.
You're more than generous.
Yeah, I know.
You too.
Well, you gotta
But
be.
if somebody tells you...
If you're on the radio, everyone thinks, "Oh man, he should be tipping me."
He's Mr. Bucks over there.
Yeah, right.
Look at what he gave me.
I'll tell you, if you want to tip a priest, you put the money in your zipper. A priest will find it.
No.
Not your priest. Not your priest, but other priests.
You know what the biggest dilemma for me is? What do you do when you get full service at a gas station? Do you tip them?
What?
Oh,
at a gas
you
station.
tip at a gas station?
But I feel weird when a guy does my window.
Hold it a second.
I do too.
Hold it a second. I have never heard this before.
As soon as I swear to God, as soon as they do your oil, if they check your oil, I always tip them.
You're kidding
Guy
me.
does my windows. He washes my windows.
Ridiculous.
Hold it a second. Stop everything. Now I've heard everything.
I really do.
I have yet to hear of this.
You're kidding.
Yes, because if a guy washes your windows, you feel obligated.
I thought that was part of the service.
I never had anybody wash.
It is, but they make it.
Excuse me, don't they charge you more for full service?
Much more.
Yeah, some do and some don't. Some are only.
Now I'm
full service.
thinking, how many guys at my gas station must think I'm a cheap bastard?
I give the guy a buck
It's
for
not
washing my window.
The guy who washes your window doesn't get that money.
Hold it a second. Hold it a second. Let's stop.
I give a trip to Puerto Rico.
Yeah. No, seriously, Dominic, have you ever heard of tipping the guy at the gas station for washing your window?
Always.
You're
No,
serious?
Dominic, come on.
I give a buck. I really do.
I swear to you, I've never heard that.
If I fill up and it's $18,
I
the
wish
guy
you'd
washes my
never
window.
told me that.
And if he
Don't
wants,
start doing that.
and if the guy wants to pay phone call, I lose immediately.
What happened to the days when you used to go to gas stations, they give you free cups and stuff?
Because that doesn't happen
Mexico
anymore.
man?
You know what's really weird? The guy at the gas station that I go to, usually it's like somebody who's foreign and doesn't speak English and is young. The guy is like my dad's age, and he's like, it's like my dad, so I feel bad. He's like, a working guy.
Yeah, but he gets paid. Why?
Obviously not a lot.
Let me tell you something. This is the only country in the world that has gone tip crazy.
Yeah.
This is tip
I've
madness.
never heard of tipping at a gas station.
I refuse to get into that. I'm going there to buy gas. I'm not asking the guy to wash my windshield. I thought they were doing that to attract you as a customer.
You want to talk about tip crazy? Ask Robin. I lived in New York in like a nice high-rise building. Ask her what it costs at Christmas time. They said you had a list.
Think about that.
However, the list that I got last year is 27 people I'd never seen.
Right.
I'm writing checks to because
Did they tell you what to give?
No.
No.
Oh my God.
You ask
What
other
does
people.
the list say?
The list is it's the handymen, the guys who throw out the garbage, security on the other side of the building, the doormen. The building manager.
It's insane.
The building manager's assistant.
But how do they work?
Why do we end up with the only jobs where we can't make tips?
What do tips are?
Tom should start tipping me for a good show.
Robert, didn't your old building, wasn't it that you could give a flat fee and then they printed it?
Yeah, in one building I lived in, they gave you every year they'd say, all right, what we have decided, they'd have a pool, so you didn't have to tip individually. And they'd say, all right, the minimum is this. And then they would write down what everybody gave.
Let me tell you how people ruin it.
Would know.
Let me tell you how people ruin it. That's a great system. It should be one amount everyone gives. If they agree they want to tip, and then let the help divide it up.
Right.
This is how it gets ruined. You get a guy like Dominic in your building, and he goes, yeah, I get into that, but here's an extra 25 because you did a good job. Right. And once you do that, it's over with. It's like you go to a restaurant, and they say, here's the tip. It's included so you don't have to deal with it. When I go on vacation, I go to a place where there's no tipping allowed. And the reason there's no tipping allowed is you pay an exorbitant amount of money for the vacation. They say, now you don't have to carry any money with you. Everything is taken care of. Everyone's taken care of. You still see the guy from Texas come down, and he's throwing the money around and makes you look like a cheap bastard. So then you got to get into it. It's unbelievable. People ruin it. Americans are out of their minds.
Do you tip the casino guy when they look?
Yeah, I do. And you want to know something? The last time I went, I didn't because I was losing, and I said, wait a second. This is absurd. The whole notion of gambling is that you go there, and as soon as you make,
which guy? It's not
the dealer.
Yeah, the dealer.
John's asking about the dealer. Dealer gives you a good hand, and you win blackjack. Well, then you lose 5 hands in a row, and you suck.
He doesn't give you anything.
No rebate.
Howard, I mean, it's gambling.
I swear to God, no kidding around, because they were making fun of the table the other night. I tipped Eddie, the guy from IBM. When he gave me those 2 good hands.
You're kidding.
No, I gave him a $5 chip.
Wait a second, Gary, let me get this straight.
That was a good... I did that as a good...
Let me get this straight.
Eddie did that as a good...
You're saying at our card game you tipped another guy you're playing against?
Because what happened was...
But you didn't tip the priest.
What happened was somebody at the other table goes, hey, that was a good hand, give me some money. So somebody threw him some money. So Eddie gave me 2 hands in a row that were probably about $150 a piece.
Yeah.
And when I took in the second hand, I go, hey, thanks for taking the game. I threw a $5 chip.
Are you insane? And when Eddie cleans you out on the next hand,
I don't know. I didn't know what went on, and I didn't want to come in here and say, Gary's such a jerk. You won $150. You didn't give Eddie anything.
Eddie owes you 5.
But you know, he makes a good point. When you're tipping the blackjack dealer in Atlantic City, they're not doing anything but dealing cards either.
Of course, listen. When you're playing in cards in blackjack, the thing is, the odds. Supposedly, the odds are with you a little bit, but they clean you out every time. If you're going to go in there and be a gambler, you've got to go in with the attitude that like every dollar counts because you're going to try and beat the house. That's another dollar that you could have bet against the house, bet into them when you could win.
Why are you giving it away?
It's absurd. But you know,
they're not doing anything special for you.
Well, I know when I go to Atlantic City, every dealer's looking at me like, hey, man, when are you going to start tipping us? But Dominic takes care of him. Dominic gives him like $100.
You feel greedy if you win 3 hands and you don't give him anything. Like you know what I'm saying?
I know. Yeah, you feel like, hey, you're being greedy or something. But that takes away all your advantage. The only advantage you have in blackjack is if you can make a couple of bucks from the house and then bet into the house with their money.
Yeah, but Howard, you know what? For us, it really is a little bit like, I know for John and I, our worst nightmare is some guy calls in on the phone and says, hey, Gary was in the restaurant the other night. That cheap bastard.
Yeah, I know.
Once I went to a restaurant and the tip was included, like 50% tip, whatever. Was all included?
15%.
Yeah. So after that, so I think it was all included and everything. I came in and the restaurant was faxed saying how cheap it was because I didn't tip on top of the 15%.
No. I mean, well, you got no money. Me, I go to a restaurant, I leave like 80%.
Yeah, I've been out with you. You get nuts.
Yeah, but I got to because people talk about me.
We went somewhere once, and you actually tipped what the amount was.
Yeah, because it was a small check. I just said, well, you know. I was at the Garden City Hotel on Saturday. I had a meeting Saturday morning. A guy brought over a cup of coffee for David Kirkpatrick, and I had a cup of hot water.
Okay, wait a second. That's at worst case scenario. That's $3.50.
Okay. I left him 20. Okay? So what am I going to do?
You're that guy.
Because they're not even doing anything. At that point, they're bringing you water.
Have to do it.
You're the guy ruining it for us.
I know. Well, what am I supposed to do, though? I'm high profile.
Billy West is just telling me that he tips when he goes to a hotel for one night. He leaves money for the chambermaid.
I always do.
Of course you do.
One night?
I do that. I feel real bad for them.
I think it's a minimum. If you stay in an average hotel, I think it's $3 or $4 a night.
They're the easiest to stiff, and they're the ones doing it. I mean, they're cleaning off the pee off the toilet seat when you miss.
Plus, those are the people you got to trust, too.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter. You're not going to see him again, but you really shouldn't.
You could leave, and certainly they wouldn't know the difference, but I always leave them a little something.
I never knew
You
that.
have to.
You don't?
No, I didn't know.
Why would
now
you
I
say
will.
for one night it doesn't make a difference? They're still cleaning.
No, but I don't know. I told you for a week you leave, like a couple bucks. But
how much do you leave after a week?
Like $10, $20.
Oh, man.
But I never knew about the hotel one, you know.
And look at Ralph. He's never left anything for anybody.
Don't you remember when we first used to go out to California, and Fred used to stiff the chambermaid all the time, and he'd say, Fred, and I remember you said to Fred, Fred, what's the matter with you? And he goes, hey, I'm never going to see those people again.
Great guy.
Hey, Fred.
And Fred was like a rube, coming out of the hillbilly woods. He didn't know from tipping.
He didn't even know from staying in the hotel.
Yeah.
Let the hotel pay him.
Fred was like, Howard, this is my first time on an airplane. Okay, Fred, good
Hold
boy.
my hand.
Yeah.
What are you supposed to do? Tip the pilot, too?
Yeah. We told Fred to go tip the pilot.
He likes it, though.
All right, Dominic, you had your rush. You're on the air.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Better than food.
No, it's not.
I was on the air, but they didn't pay much attention to me. Right, I could barely have 6 words in there. Let me go find the pizza place that's open at 6 o'clock in the morning.
All right, we got to take a break. We'll be back right after these. Jackie New Rave joke page Martling. Look at him. That career is on fire. To order Jackie's wild comedy CD or cassette, I understand it's selling very well in Europe.
Yeah? He's a big hit over there.
Him and David Hasselhoff. It's $10 plus $3 shipping and handling. Holiday special. Buy 2, get 1 free. In France, he's a genius.
Jackie.
That's right. Call 1-800-323-KING, K-I-N-G. And this Friday, December 2nd, at Memories Restaurant and Shark Bar in Fort Lee, New Jersey. Oh, boy. Hasn't gotten any better, has it?
Oh, yeah.
Tim Allen's in the Santa Claus, #1 at the box office, and Jackie's at the Memories Restaurant and Shark Bar in Fort Lee, New Jersey. For info and raunchy jokes, call 516-922-WINE. Remember, 516-922-WINE is not a pay service. What's next? Al's Grill?
He's cooking, actually, at Al's Grill.
What are you doing at the restaurant? At the Shark Bar? Will you actually be performing, or will you be cooking?
It's much worse than you could ever imagine.
What is it? Is there a stage?
Upstairs at the, I guess what would be Memories Restaurant, and after my performance, Nancy Sirianni, Martling's band, the All Folked Up, will be performing downstairs.
So your wife will be downstairs performing in the lounge?
Yeah, the guy's trying to capitalize. He was trying to get the Fred Norris band, too. This guy was going for the whole gamut.
You didn't want to play there, Fred?
No, I did. I guess I wanted too much money.
Jackie right in there, though. You tell me Fred gets a higher fee than you?
I'm not sure. No, I think the guy booked me, and then...
I see. Try to get Fred.
He had already gotten all the money.
Jackie, as usual, had sucked all the money out of the budget.
Because when I said it was like a certain amount, he said, what?
All right.
Hello?
And what about your mother? She'll be parking cars as usual there?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's direct.
What happened? Did
You had the Volvo, right?
Did Jackie throw in All Folked Up for free, or what?
I think that was thrown in.
Cut their own deal.
Cut their own deal. $50. $50. They ride with Jackie.
So Jackie lures them in upstairs, and then they can't get out without hearing All Folked Up.
All folked up. All right, very good. Who cares? All right. Let's take some phone calls. We just had a huge argument in here again about tipping at a gas station. Tom Chiusano came in and said he has never, ever heard of tipping at a gas station. And I said, I've never heard of it. That's a new one on me. Really new. And then, how do you like this when you go into a, Stuttering John said you go into a Dunkin' Donuts now, and you just get a cup of coffee. Hot cup of coffee to go. And there's a little, jar that says, tipping allowed here.
Right. That's what some people have gone to, the jar.
Yeah.
You see
the
that
obnoxious
on the counters
jar.
of takeout places.
They've always been in 7-Elevens and stuff. There's always little jar. Tipping is not a state in China and all these little jokes.
Yeah, but if you go to 7-Eleven, I mean, that's obviously to avoid that.
Yeah.
And it's always sitting there next to one of those collections for handicapped kids. It's like, take your choice.
Yeah, right. Handicap or me.
Yeah.
They have them at juice bars even. You go to get some carrot juice.
Really?
Yeah, and the guy has a little cup.
Oh, that's obscene.
On the table, on the counter that says, tips.
You can't go anywhere. If a guy's doing his job, just getting some juice out of a carrot. You got to give him a tip.
Yeah.
Oh, tipping is out of control.
Isn't it weird?
It really is. Come on, people don't know what to do. It's just like Gary said to me, he had a truck delivery. Guy shows up, they were delivering a refrigerator.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's always a tough call, too.
Yeah, like I always end up giving each guy like $20.
Yeah, is it a percentage of what the refrigerator costs?
Yeah, I know, but Gary said he left $20 extra for the delivery with his wife. He says, you think I did the right thing? Because you go out of your mind trying to figure it out. I go, yeah, well, that sounds right. I mean, I tip like a nut, so...
You should.
I guess you should, but...
I always tip the guys that know where you live.
Yeah, but they don't do that anywhere else in the world.
Yeah, if it's a delivery, it's a delivery. He gets paid to deliver.
It's part of the... But, I don't know, we're tipping mad. I tell you, I go on a vacation where a place... The purpose you pay so much money is because every tip is included. You don't have to deal with your money at all.
I prefer to go to a place where you pay a lot of money and you still have to tip.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is I pay all this money, and I love that you go to this island and you don't have to tip, you don't have to worry about it, and then you see some big fat Texan running around tipping everybody.
But I resent
ruining it
here at home where you can't get a decent table in a restaurant because everybody's always giving money to the maitre d'.
Yeah.
Everybody's always paying off ushers. It's ridiculous.
Ushers?
Ushers.
You're on the air.
Yo, dude.
Hey.
I had a dream about you, man.
Oh, great. A guy having a dream about you.
No, dude. It was totally weird. Check it out. Dude, we were sitting somewhere on the beach, right?
Hey, don't call me no dude.
All right, listen. We were sitting somewhere on the beach, right? And he was writing some music, right? So I came over to you and I said, what's up with the music? And you started telling me about the storm, right? But here was
you're on the air. Chairs. Stupid idiot. Hey, you're on the air. Hey, Jackie, you should really get on this computer internet. They have a whole section on drugs, like every kind of psychedelic, bong water. There's a section on bong water.
It tells you exactly what it'll do to you and everything?
Tells you tells you everything and what it'll do to you. And like people talking about it.
So I could add my own experiences?
Yeah, well, not add it. You could learn more. But
I thought this was a government thing. The government's not in there reading all that?
No one has control over it, evidently. No censorship, which I like. They're on the air.
Hello?
I was watching Regis and Kathy Lee Friday morning when we were off, and they had that guy on, Kenny G. I think he was either on Regis and Kathy Lee or he was on the Today Show or whatever that is, the Good Morning America show. Well, that's what it was, Good Morning America with Joan London. Boy, she's a piece of ass.
Oh, you like her, huh?
Yeah.
She's fixed herself up.
I'd love to do her. She's got a nice nose job.
Free now.
No, I'm not. So Kenny G is holding a clarinet, and he goes, this is my saxophone, and he's talking about how his kid now plays the sax. I go, when did a saxophone start looking like a clarinet? When did that happen?
Isn't that a soprano sax?
I don't care what it is. I know what a saxophone is. That's a clarinet that guy plays. I hate to break the news to him.
I always thought it was a clarinet, but then he would call it a saxophone.
It even sounds like a clarinet. Unbelievable. And, watching this HBO, obviously I'm on vacation. All I do is hide and watch my TV.
Yeah, it sounds like he stayed with the television a lot.
Pretty much. So, that's what my wife doesn't like. She thinks I should be doing something with her.
What is she doing at the time you're doing all this?
Nothing. I don't even know what she wants me to do. But she wants me to do stuff with her. And I was like, well, I want to watch TV.
In the morning when you got up and watched Kenny G, could you have done something with her?
No. I don't want to do it. I've done everything there is to do with her. But I'm watching this HBO, right? Because I get HBO. And the same two movies the whole weekend. Rudy and Mrs. Doubtfire.
They have gone crazy on Mrs. Doubtfire. What, did they buy that on special? They got to play it?
Someone's got to explain that all to me. Why? Like I was saying to myself, remember that movie with Harrison Ford where he's with the Amish? It was called Witness?
Yeah.
Like, where's that movie? Like, why aren't they running that?
Great movies are running around. They're sitting out there lying around, but they get one movie at HBO, and because Mrs. Doubtfire has been playing for several weeks now, several times a day.
Then I like it when it finally comes to the network and they go, the network premiere of Mrs. Doubtfire. It's like, is there anyone left who hasn't seen it 20 times?
Well, you get to see them change the dirty words. See, that's what
make it even worse.
Exciting about
and break it up with about 5 minutes of commercials every 20 seconds.
Yeah, you get to see where they broke it. And, I thought that would be a good commercial break right there.
Yeah. It is a good place for a break. I know a guy who did that for a living.
Do the commercial break?
Yeah, that's the guy who's the head of ABC now. He went to college with me, Ted Harbert. That's how his father worked at ABC. So he got him this job where you get to watch movies and figure out where the commercial breaks would go.
That's a good job.
Yeah, I was so jealous because I'd gotten out of college and I was working for $96 a week. He was at a network, like just watching cool movies and saying, hey, now there's a good spot. And then I think he had to check for, like, dirty words. That's what he did. I swear to God, that's what his job was. And I was, like, freaking out. I was like, oh, man, why can't my daddy work for ABC? Why's my dad? In fact, I went to my dad after that. I said, hey, can I work for you at the recording studio? He goes, I'll never work with you.
Oh, no.
I'd rather quit my job than work with you.
He says he always knew. He didn't want to hold you back.
Yeah, sure.
He always knew you had something.
Frightening. Miami, you're on the air. Miami.
Yeah.
What's happening?
I need your advice on something because I might get a computer and I'm not sure whether or not I should get an Apple or an IBM.
Well, you should get an IBM and you should get OS2.
Why?
OS2. Why? Because it's better. First of all, I could do 900 things at once.
What do you think about the fact that they're talking now about merging Apple and IBM?
Well, that'll be good. They're merging on certain concepts, and they'll be able to share certain software and stuff. Computers should all be universal. We should all be able to trade disks and do all kinds of things. But I see the future. I've done exhaustive studies. When I went into this whole computer thing, I did exhaustive studies between Apple, IBM, and OS2 and Windows and all this stuff. And I am telling you, the superior product is the IBM with this OS2 warp that they're now selling. It's superior. When I'm watching TV on my computer, and I'm calling the internet, and I'm writing a letter, and I'm doing this all at once, that's power. That's computing power. So that's what you got to do. This is my humble opinion.
You're saying you can't do that on Apple?
Nope.
All right.
You can do limited amounts of it, but you can't get the rush. For $89, you're doing all of that with the OS2.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll catch on. I can't imagine it won't.
Yeah, I need Gary's advice on something.
What is that? I'll help you.
Oh, see, I'm cooking an omelet right now, and I'm not sure whether or not I should have flies in it or boogers.
All right, goodbye.
Bye.
Orlando, you're on the air. And don't ask me about computers anymore. Believe me, I don't want to talk about it.
Yo, how?
I was down there with the computer the whole week, and my father-in-law says, I would like to see the computer work. I would like to be a part of that. So I said, all right. I said, I'll give you a tour. So I'm down there, and I invited him down. I'm watching a movie now. So the whole weekend it was like, why am I not seeing the computer? Then my father-in-law, he takes every videotape I have in the house, and he has to copy them so he can bring them back to Florida with him.
They don't have video?
No, they don't have videotape. Like, I had like 4 or 5 cool movies in the house, and he does it, he sneaks it. Because the last time, he snuck the videos out of my office, and then he didn't return them to me. So I blew my stack. So now he has the movies, and he's downstairs in the basement, and he hides from me, and he's sitting there making copies of everything I have. To me, it'd be so much easier just to go to a video store and rent this stuff. But
and he's got to lug them all the way back to Florida?
Oh, yeah. He spends the whole weekend taping. It's very important to him.
But don't you try to keep your luggage as light as possible?
I do. I think he's cheap. That's what I think. I mean, he's like, oh, my God, a free movie.
He's got to come to New York for movies.
Right. And then my wife's involved, and everyone has to hunt down videotape for him, and it's a whole process.
Now, did you do anything with him this weekend? Because I heard from Bruce.
No.
But you didn't do anything with your father-in-law, huh?
Well, I was so excited to have 4 days off. You got to understand something. My in-laws love to come up. I love to have them there. They want to see the kids and stuff. And it's just weird because I want to spend the 4 days vegetating. You know what I mean? I would like to have... I don't get many days off in a row.
I know.
So then when my in-laws come, I'm hoping they understand that I just want to sort of like have some time to myself.
Mellow out.
But I know they get mad. They think I'm they think I'm weird. I know it. I know deep down they probably resent the fact that I'm not sitting there doing family stuff every day. Because every time I come upstairs, they go, like Alice would say to me, my father's lonely. He wants to watch the football game with you. And I just wanted to watch the football game by myself. Because my father-in-law starts talking during the football game. I like to hear what the commentary is. I know some guys are really sports fans. They don't care what the commentary is. I don't want to talk to my father-in-law during the game. I want to watch the game.
You need the assistance of the commentator.
I do. I need to hear what's going on. And then if I come down, my mother-in-law starts talking during the game. She comes in, what game is this? She doesn't care, but she asks.
So you really, literally spend the whole time hiding?
I have to. Like I come upstairs. First, my mother-in-law says to me, "Darling, we haven't talked the whole weekend." I go, "Yeah." She doesn't really want to talk to me. She wants to be with the kids, but she doesn't know it. You know what I mean? Everyone feels compelled to sort of, pretend that we all have to sit there and talk. There's nothing to talk about. Because she says to me, "You had some guy on Tuesday." Every minute when she sees me, she goes, "Oh, I wonder who's going to play me in the movie." I know we're having a great weekend this weekend, but I'm sure on Monday I'll find out on the radio that we're not. Everything's always about the radio,
right.
the radio.
Yeah, the evaluation.
She's into the radio. I know if I tune in Monday, I'll find out we didn't have a good time. And I said, "No, relax. We had a great time." Can
they hear the radio show down there now?
My father-in-law says he can pick it up on a skip because they pick it up off some, I guess, from Orlando. So he gets it in the car. And it's my worst nightmare. Because now my mother-in-law kind of catches it. So it's like she was like, "You had some guy on Tuesday morning I was listening, and he was ranting and raving." Now, within 2 seconds, I know what she's talking about. She's talking about Pat Cooper. Who is this guy, and who is he? And now, I know she's busy with the kids. She don't want to hear the answer. I go, "Oh, I don't know. I don't even know what you're talking about, ranting and raving." No. He was ranting and raving, and he was very mad at you, and he said that your parents were were going to be upset, or completely out of it. She didn't. In other words, it was on the radio. She couldn't comprehend what was going on. Now I'm going to interpret. The show's not complicated. Morons listen to this show.
Like me, Howard.
Yeah, exactly.
You understand what's going on.
I mean, you understood. A guy came in, Pat Cooper, a comedian, and he was mad. What's to understand? How can I explain that to you any better?
Does she really expect an answer, or does she just want you to interface?
She wants to interface. She doesn't really want the answer. I know that.
These are rhetorical questions. So they really don't require an answer.
Exactly. So I mumble and I go, "Oh, that's a comedian," and then it's over. It's over. But there's not, who wants to talk about my work?
Do you ever? Is there any plan for something you guys are all going to do together?
No, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do a thing. I want to sit in my house, not shower. I just want to sit there by my computer or say hi to the kids. You know what I mean? I just want to be by myself.
How?
You do sound like a very strange man with all those people who live in your house. Why would you have all those people there and then hide?
Listen, my wife's got to be with her family. I like seeing my in-laws.
I'm talking, even your family, you'd be, if the kids and you were just there, you'd be hiding.
Well, of course. No one sees the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. Now, my wife knew, I even told my wife this, she knew when she married me that I was peculiar this way.
Are you sure you told her how mature you were?
I'm immature.
Because she seems to not be aware. She's complaining about it.
Listen, I got to have time to myself. I've always been like that. My parents knew it. They warned my wife getting into it. I need time to sit and think. I can't do two things at once.
The internet. She didn't know about that.
Yes, she knew. She knew what I was doing. Listen, then I come upstairs. My father-in-law gets a hold of me, right? Here, this is why I hide, okay? You want to know why I hide? He gets a hold of me. He says, Howie, we need a favor. So that's okay. Hey, he's my father-in-law. I love this guy. I really do love my in-laws. I want people to understand that they were nice to me when no one was nice to me.
So what you're saying is you appreciate them. You're not saying you love them.
I love them. I want to smother them. I love them so much. Says, Howie, we need a favor. I said, what is it, Bob? Anything. Well, a friend of ours, a friend of ours needs you to tell him where Rodney Dangerfield is. So I said, what? What are you talking about? He goes, a friend of ours invited Rodney Dangerfield to a wedding. He is related to Rodney Dangerfield. And Rodney said he would come, and then Rodney didn't show up. And because they invited him to the wedding, they want to know what happened. So where is he right now? So wait a second, I got to stop you right here.
His relatives don't know where he is.
Yeah, right. I said, Bob, why do they need me? Do they really? Is this really true? You know, now, and I know exactly what went on here. They never asked my father-in-law to get involved or me to get involved. My father-in-law knows I've talked to Rodney once or twice on the radio, and he knows that these people didn't have Rodney show up at their wedding. So now he's putting two and two together, and he's now going to create conversation. This is all meaningless chatter.
He's going to be the hero.
Yeah, he's going to be a hero. It's got nothing to do with me. I don't know Rodney. Rodney Dangerfield has called me at my home twice. 2 times after Tonight Show appearances to tell me they were really good.
Other than that, I don't know where Rodney calls from.
You can't find him right now. Is that what you're saying?
So I said to my father-in-law, why don't you have the relatives call his agent and say that obviously the guy doesn't want to talk to them? What are you talking to me for?
So you really say that to him? You don't hear
Yes,
him
I said, Bob, what am I going to do for you? I said, have your friend call his agent. Well, what if he doesn't know his agent? I go, well, I don't know what to say. You know what it is? I'm a very straight guy. You ask me to do something for you, I'm going to do it for you. Don't make idle conversation with me. If you ask me to do something, I'm going to take you seriously. I don't want to sit and be bothered.
To help.
Yes, if the guy's saying do me a favor, I would do anything for my father-in-law. But don't ask me to go track down Rodney Dangerfield. I don't know Rodney Dangerfield more than you do. And he knows I don't.
I think they have a different... They're always asking you stuff about people you don't know. They really think...
I wouldn't even mind. It's bad enough my father-in-law comes to me and go, oh, what's Rodney Dangerfield like? You know, like I know. That's bad enough. But now he's asking me to get involved in a family matter with Rodney Dangerfield.
It's ingenious.
Yeah.
Because he's worn out all the other avenues to talk to you.
Yeah, right.
A new showbiz way to connect.
Talk to me about something that's relevant. Let's talk politics. Let's talk.
He really is trying his best to find something you might be interested in.
Tell me, Howie, is that puppet lamb chop difficult to work? Bob, it's a sock. What do I know?
And Sherry Lewis.
Yeah, what kind of game is that? You know, I mean, but he, you know, and then I'm put in a position where I got to answer this in a rude way.
Oh.
It becomes rude. How am I going to answer that? Then we're cutting the turkey at Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah.
We're sitting there in the kitchen, and I said, this is great. I like family. I do love family. And we're all in there, you know. I said, this is great. You know, we're having turkey
every once in a while they're nice.
Yeah, no, they're great. They're great people. My parents, everyone were great. And then my father-in-law turns to me. My brother-in-law is cutting the turkey, because he's the only one who knows how to carve a turkey without mutilating it.
Uh-huh.
And my brother-in-law, this is my brother-in-law Pete, my sister's husband. Who, by the way, I think, I want to congratulate him. I think we're up to number 7.
What do you mean?
I think it's now a total of 7 words he's spoken to me in the 20 years I know him. Okay? So,
well, at least he's not bothering you.
No, he never bothers me. This is unbelievable. I don't know my brother-in-law any more than I know Rodney Dangerfield.
You know how well you know Peter?
How well?
You know Peter as well as you know Fred.
Right. No, I know Fred a little better.
You think so?
Yeah, because Fred is forced to actually talk to me sometimes.
I think if you set him up, Pete,
you know my brother-in-law. He don't say a word. He doesn't say a word.
He's very quiet.
Quiet as a church mouse.
Very quiet.
I want to do an experiment. If we all sat around the table and kept quiet, I want to see if would he ever say it to me.
That's a funny idea.
Yeah.
That's a funny idea.
He's a real quiet guy. Literally, I don't think we've said more than a page worth of dialogue to each other through our whole 20 years of knowing each other.
Have you ever been in a room alone with him?
No.
See, that would be interesting.
No.
Oh, to closet yourself with Peter and see what happens.
I'm not doing that. You do that.
Oh, that sounds funny to me. You got to do it.
No. I wouldn't do that. No. Oh, no way. No.
That sounds like real good fun.
Well, my sister doesn't talk a lot either, so she had to marry a guy who doesn't talk. She hates people who talk. Like she says to my wife all the time, I would go crazy if I was married to Howard. And I say to her, well, I'm not asking you to marry me.
She thought about it, and she would have to turn you down.
But she thinks I'm a lousy husband, my sister. And she tells my wife all the time what a lousy husband I am.
Why?
Oh, Howard doesn't take you out. She go, I feel so sorry for you, my sister said. My sister's a really great gal. My brother-in-law doesn't say anything, and when my sister opens her mouth, it's the wrong thing. So then we're sitting there, we're watching my brother-in-law carve the turkey because that's his thing. He does manly stuff.
He actually knows how to do things.
Yeah, but that's because he never learned how to talk. So he learned how to do stuff. So then my father-in-law is standing next to me, and he goes, says to Peter, Peter, tell me, how much does that turkey weigh that you're cutting? So Peter doesn't say anything. So, of course, I have to fill in Peter doesn't talk. He just won't answer.
That's funny. How much does the turkey weigh?
How much does the turkey weigh? So I go, Bob, I got to stop you here for a second. No one knows how much this turkey weighs. I said, and what are you going to do with that information once you learn it? Well, I am trying to figure out how many pounds it takes to we have how many people here? It says we have 14 people. How many pounds do you need to feed 14 people?
Oh, boy. Because he can use this information.
I said, well, assuming you learn this, well, how's it going to help you?
Where are you taking this information?
So even he started laughing. because this is all meaningless chatter. I've got to have relevance. I must have a relevant life. I demand it.
No more turkey weight discussion.
Yeah. Right? You know what I'm saying?
Perfectly.
Rodney Dangerfield. So if Rodney's listening, could you get in touch with me? Thanks, pal.
They needed somebody to tip the priest.
What can I do for you, pal?
Howard, for a long time I want to tell you about, you talk about the post office wackos. And I want to let you know that people who are veterans in the Army and stuff, when they take the post office test, they get extra points. So that's how they get into the post office. So you got these guys having flash...
All right, this guy's not a funny guy. There's nothing humorous about him. He's the kind of guy you call a showstopper. You give him the mic and that's the end of it. While he's prepared that conversation for the last 2 years, honing it, making sure it was perfectly crafted. It went unappreciated by this host.
You know how you're talking about the post office?
Yeah.
And these guys, the veterans?
Right.
Well, they have what they call flashbacks, and that's what makes them go off.
Great. Thanks.
What do you think?
Thanks for the info.
Can you use that?
Yeah, can you make that into something funny?
Well, that's what I was trying to get to. That's what I did.
No, I guess you want me to make it funny.
Well, I just thought I'd bring it up because you know how you talk about the guys in the post office and that they're veterans and
yeah.
And
my wife wants to know why I'm exhausted when I come home. It's from people like you. I'd rather answer turkey questions to my father-in-law.
He's running home now.
Exactly. All right, let's...
Your in-laws still in town, or
are
they
yeah.
gone?
Oh no, they're still here. Yes. No, they're here.
Oh, they're here.
No, they're here.
Oh.
Yeah.
So they could be listening.
Oh, they're all listening. They're all huddled around the radio. And then I'll come home, my mother-in-law will go, you were terrible to us. I go, I was not. Relax. Takes it way too seriously. Listen, that's my hell. I go home. I can't hang up on my father-in-law like I did on that guy.
Now.
No, we have a great time, actually. We had a real nice... So the kids are in heaven when my mother-in-law plays with them nonstop. God bless her. And she'll go home and be sick for 2 weeks now. Because she'll be dizzy from not sleeping.
Them everything.
Yeah, gives it her all. And my mother hardly knows my kids. My mother's just the opposite. I got two opposites. I don't think my mother's ever heard my little one talk.
Oh, stop.
I don't think she's heard the oldest one talk.
Didn't she? She took care of them once.
She hardly has it. She hardly interfaces.
And if she does take care of them, she doesn't play like your other.
No, she never plays with the kids. She's not into that. She brings over toys and stuff and then lets them go off and play. So I got one mother-in-law who thinks she's 12 years old. And I got another one who doesn't even talk to her.
Well, see, they're evenly matched.
Yeah.
Because if they were both like that, they'd be in there tearing the kids apart.
My mother basically concentrated on my sister's kids.
Oh, yeah?
And I think she's kind of burnt out from that.
She's done it already.
I think she's kind of had the experience. I think if I had had a son, she would have gotten back into it, but it's just more of the same, more daughters.
Mm.
You know, granddaughters.
What do you think will happen now that, you have another... Allison's sister got married. She'll probably start having children.
Hopefully.
Hopefully? What are you saying?
No, I think that my mother-in-law is pretty burnt out. Like, if my sister-in-law...
She won't get this for her kids?
No. She will not get... My kids are pretty much the chosen children. That's what happens. Like, my mother's completely burnt out for my sister's kids.
Yeah.
She can't concentrate on two sets of kids at the same time. Which is fine, believe me. I don't need her. Believe me, I turned out like a screwed-up mushroom. I don't want my mother, getting her hands on my kids. Because there's something about it. She worries too much or something, and all I know is that you turn out like me.
Oh, dear.
Oh, Howard.
Yeah. She's frazzled.
So, anyway, now...
I'd rather my wife raise the kids. I partake very little. I stay away from...
You probably would have an adverse effect.
I would. Well. I know I'd be bad for them. And I know enough to stay away. Believe me, I know. With all my stupid paranoid feelings and psychotic breakdowns every 2 seconds and uptight a-hole comments. My wife's a great mother. I let her do the whole trip. Soup to nuts. I give her all full credit. My kids just got straight A's. They were straight A's. God bless them. That's my wife. I get a hold of them.
Nothing to do with it.
I don't do anything. I have nothing to do with it. I pay the bill.
So will you be standing there with your chest poked out, all proud, when they graduate?
I won't even be there. I'm gonna stay away from that too. I don't want anything to go wrong. I don't want to jinx it. Yeah, the kids are doing just fine.
Well, good.
Yeah, kids are good kids. I got to say, I don't know where it came from.
Well, you said your wife did it all.
Yeah, God bless her. Well, let's take a break, and then when we come back, I got a little treat for you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It's an old friend of ours stopping by who we set up on a date. You're going to get a little love connection detail here.
Okay.
Right after these words. Hey, you want to have a good laugh? I've got this guy here. You might remember him from a couple of weeks ago.
Wait a minute. You're not advising that people laugh at this gentleman, are you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
but I know Jackie will start laughing as soon as he sees him. Jackie does a great impression. Do an impression of the guy's face for TV. Go ahead. Do it, Jackie. He's your favorite.
The camera's...
You got a mic on? Oh.
Well, it's over here for...
Oh. What? Go ahead, do it.
It's weird because he maintains eye contact, but his head goes way back.
This guy's a pisser. He's stroked out. He's a young guy, but he stroked out a couple of years ago.
Yeah, he's in his 30s, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He wrote me a letter. He says, listen, I'm so bad off. To get an erection, I have to shoot my penis full of some kind of drug. And it makes him aroused for 4 hours. Oh, here he is. Here's Dennis. Let me see you. Look at you.
There he is.
Hey, Happy. I call him Happy Dennis. Come on in, pal. How you doing? Guy's all messed up. There you go. What happened? You had high blood pressure and you stroked out?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They gave him that high voice, too. He used to be more manly.
Yeah, you had a more manly voice before you stroked out, right?
No, I lost my gained a big smile now.
You lost your vocal cords, too?
But I gained a smile.
You got one vocal cord, right? That works. The rest is paralyzed?
I don't know.
Did you always talk like this?
No.
No?
He really doesn't know what happened. He woke up out of a coma, and this was what was left.
Yeah. Did you have a deep voice at one point? Like, were you kind of deep?
No, I used to talk like I can't think of his name. The guy used to play the violin.
It's Chuck Perlman?
No.
Jack Benny?
No.
Jack Benny?
Henny Youngman?
No,
Did you talk like Henny Youngman before your stroke?
Pee Wee Herman.
He don't play a violin. Well, you really did have a stroke. You used to talk like Pee Wee Herman?
No, the guy with the long hair like you.
Oh, I know, Yanni.
No. God, I can't think of it. You know, I had long
Looks
hair.
like you and plays the violin.
Tulips.
Oh, Tiny Tim.
Tiny Tim.
That's not a violin, you nut. Ukulele. Violin. Look at you. You know who you look like? Howard Sprague from Andy and Mayberry.
Yes, he does.
That's who you look like. Jackie, do the impression. There you go.
I want to tell you a joke real quick.
Okay.
About a computer.
What?
Who invented the computer?
Who invented the computer? Who?
Eve.
Eve? What?
She had an apple in one hand and wang in the other.
She had an apple in one hand and a wang in the other. Okay, there you go. You're a funny guy.
Always with the joke.
Yeah.
Stroke the joke.
Hey, Billy, can you do an impression of him?
You know who invented the computer?
Who?
Eve. She had an apple in one hand and a wang in the other.
All we got to do is get him a pair of clown pants, and he's got an act. Hey, let me tell you something. So anyway, you wrote me a letter. This was a couple of months ago. I think everyone remembers the sad show that you did because when you stroked out, you lost the ability to have an arousal in your pants.
Right.
Am I correct?
Right.
So what the doctor gave you was some kind of injection.
Right.
And you can get aroused for 4 hours.
Right.
And the problem is, mostly since you stroke, all you've been getting is fat broads, right?
Right.
So we set you up on a dial-a-date.
Exactly. Great one.
Great one.
Yeah, you had a good time?
Yeah.
Did you get to use your kit, your works?
No.
No. Was she fat?
No.
Nice?
Nice.
Well, we're going to bring her in and find out how the date
Oh, I
went.
can't wait to see who he dated.
Yeah.
She was one of the hyperventilating real bad, remember?
What was that?
She was hyperventilating real bad on the phone, remember?
Is that right? Yeah. Oh, wow. Hey, you're kind of young looking. How old are you? You look like you're 12. Did anybody card her before the date? How old are you?
Actually, no, I'm 20.
You're 20, really?
Yeah.
Wow, you're a young girl. That's good, you know. You get a young girl, it's always good because then when the change hits them when they get older, it don't hit them until they're like 60. To change their life. Most women.
You're 60.
Yeah, I tell you, most women they get into the middle ages. Boy, oh boy, the whole looks change.
Everyone's telling me that when I turn 30, I'll be happy that I look this young.
Yeah, no problem. I'm telling you, that's a good thing. So what happened when you met Dennis? Were you shocked by his personality?
No, he was really nice. He gave me a dozen red roses.
He's not a bad-looking guy. He just looks like he's a little handicapped or something, right?
No, he's not that bad.
Yeah, I mean, close your mouth for a second. Try to look normal. Let me see. See? There he looks normal. As soon as he gets that goofy grin on his face, that's when he looks stupid. You can't stop smiling, can you? No.
I think that's part of the condition.
Yeah. Why do you think about sad stuff and stuff?
If you have 4-hour erection, you smile a lot too, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's true.
You know, he gets stuck on those erection jokes.
Yeah, right, yeah. He's a nice guy and everything. If he didn't have that stroke, you'd probably be in love with him, right? Yeah, exactly. So what happened when you met Dennis? Were you all foxed up? Did you dress up for the occasion? Or?
Yeah. I brought a change of dress in case you didn't like what I was wearing.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What are you wearing? What is that?
I look good.
No.
Yeah.
You're wearing like a...
You can wear a miniskirt.
You're dressed like Jackie.
I brought it.
You have a miniskirt?
Yeah.
All right, let me take a break. You go out and change, and let's do this in your miniskirt. Let me get you a good sense of your body.
You'll make another entrance.
You'll make another entrance. All right, let me take a break here. We're going to find out what happened on their date.
Okay.
Have you gotten any girls in bed since your date with the very lovely Nicole?
Well, it's only been like 2 weeks.
Oh, you went out 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Are you in love with her?
Yeah.
You are? Wait a second.
I gave her 2 pounds of gummy bears, too, that day.
You gave her 2 pounds of gummy bears?
Yeah.
I have to go to the dentist next month, too.
Is that right?
Yeah.
All right, I'll tell you what. I'm curious about the two of you. You go change it because you don't even look like a girl like this. I'll be honest with you. You'll get your
Do you
hair.
want me to put my hair down too?
Put your hair down.
Make yourself look attractive.
Yeah, you don't look attractive. You got on pants like Jackie wears. Those are Jackie pants.
Jackie pants.
And a polo shirt. For God's sake, I can't even see your breasts.
Thank you.
I got this at the Gap.
You got that at the Gap? They should be shot.
That's why they call it the Gap.
What did you bring? What kind of change of clothes? Yeah, with your hair down, now you look like a girl. Here, move your hair forward. Take your headphones off for a second. Let me see.
There you go.
Let me see. Now you look like a girl. Now you look kind of sexy.
Yeah, we thought we had sent Dennis out with a boy.
Yeah, let me see now. Oh, no wonder he likes you. Oh, now you're looking better. All right, what do you got? What do you got for a shirt? You gonna wear that shirt with your dress?
No.
What do you got for a shirt?
This is my only shirt.
You didn't bring another shirt?
It's a dress.
Oh, it's a whole dress.
Yeah.
Is it tight?
Yeah.
Because you got a good body under there, right? All right.
Pretty good.
All right, hold on. I mean, girl comes in here, barely looks like a girl. No wonder the guy can't get an erection.
Oh.
Now you're looking sexy with your hair.
That was your premise. Your premise was that poor Dennis couldn't get it all together because he wasn't seeing attractive women.
She's attractive. She got a nice body on her. You can't see it. She's all covered up with pants.
Do I look like anyone famous?
Yes.
Who?
Tiny Tim. No, I don't know who you look like. You look like
Shoshana.
You look like Shoshana Lonstein, Jerry Seinfeld's girlfriend.
That's true.
That's who you look like.
Ex-girlfriend.
Right. Exactly. You're exactly right. Well, you're a very nice girl. You're an attractive girl.
Thank you.
Can't believe you went out with him. All right, why don't you go change? Take her in another room to change. I got to see her with a dress on. See what the hell you. When you went on the date, was she wearing a dress?
Oh yeah, she was hot looking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Take it easy. This guy's only been with fat women for a real long time.
Look at him.
And she's got a nice body on.
Beside himself.
She's a young girl. How old are you again?
20.
Wow. And when you went on the date, she was 19, right?
No, actually, I was 20.
You were 20?
My birthday was in September.
You're an attractive girl. Go change. I want to see the change. She's wearing hiking boots. Anyway, here's Dennis on his date. I drew a little picture for our TV audience. You'll see this on This is him getting ready to sleep with a girl. He's with his... he's got a big hypodermic.
The Dennis puppet.
The Dennis puppet. There it is. It's Dennis smiling with his big hypodermic needle, ready to jump on top of a girl. There he is. Okay.
The thing is that he injects himself, and he doesn't look like he's that steady.
Well, he only has one good side to his body. What hand do you use to inject yourself with?
My right hand.
Yeah, that's the hand that didn't stroke out, right?
Right.
Yeah. What is that? Is that left hand totally useless? Is it good for anything?
I use it.
You do?
Yeah.
Because I see it shaking like a leaf, that hand. Yeah. Does it shake all the time like that?
No, just I'm nervous.
Let me see. Pick your hand up. Let me see. Can you pick it up? Look at that thing. It hardly goes up. Lift it higher. Lift it up.
You can't get it above
Get it up.
head.
Get it up. Don't be lazy.
Get one up.
You can't even. You can just hang stuff on that arm. All right, let's take a break and see what the hell's going on. I don't think you can do much with that hand on the left side there.
No, that's why I was saying it's awfully strange to me that
Let me see you hold a cup of Jackie's coffee.
Are you going to launch
Let me see you hold Jackie's coffee.
Oh, dear.
Oh, man. Hey, look at that.
But he can't drink it. He just sit there.
Can you flip a coin with your left hand? Can we see that?
Flip a coin.
Yeah. Let's see you try to do something like tough. Give him a coin, Jackie. Anybody got a coin? Right here. Here's a quarter.
Here's a coin.
All right. Yeah, hold it up so the camera can see.
He's got to load up.
Let me see you flip it. He's got to load it up. Go ahead, flip it. Let me see you flip it and catch it. You can't even flip a coin with that useless left digit. Go ahead, let me see. Look at that. Oh, wait, here she is in her dress. Oh, nice spot on you. Wait, let me soak you in. Oh, wow, you're a whole different girl like this.
Yeah. Oh, man.
What? No wonder you want her. Can you stand up on here so I can really see you? Let me see. Move that microphone so you can stand up on here. Let me see that. I can't see your legs and everything. Let me see. Here, stand up here.
Somebody help her up there. Don't let Dennis help
her up. Let me see. Stand up on the. Here you go.
There you go.
Ooh.
Wow.
Ooh. Nice. Young girl. You got that schoolgirl thing going.
Damn.
Yeah. Damn. Listen to him. All right, sit down. We're going to take a little break. All right. And we'll find out about your date. You couldn't get her? You didn't get her?
No.
He's probably trying to make this one last. He doesn't want to sleep with her right away. You know how guys are.
Did you try to get her in the sack?
No.
You didn't?
I told you I'm not get that, Howard.
What?
I don't take girls in the sack the first date. I told you that.
Yeah, if I was you, I would.
She was going to come back.
Another chance.
You look good in a dress.
Thanks.
Good for you. What, do you work out or something?
Yeah, every day.
Good for you. It's a whole different girl in that dress. Trying to look more feminine. All right, let's take a break, and we'll find out what happened with these two when they went on their dream date.
And what they can expect in the future.
You probably had to inject yourself that night and take care of yourself, right?
No.
No?
He wouldn't do that for 4 hours?
All right. No. All right, very good. We'll be back right after these words. All right, we're here with Dennis and, of course, his new girlfriend, Nicole.
Are they girlfriend and boyfriend?
I don't know. I purposely asked them not to tell me anything about their date during the commercials because I wanted to unravel this great mystery on the air.
Okay.
And we were just commenting on Dennis's left side of his body. It's so much fun because it doesn't move all that much. So we have some fun.
You like to play with the left side of his body.
He does a great Bob Dole impression. Hold a pencil in your left hand and do your Bob Dole. See? Look, that's Bob Dole. See? Isn't that great?
Who's Bob Dole?
Bob Dole's a senator. He's got a bad left side, too. He got his in the war. I don't even know how did you stroke out, do you think? I mean, you were just uptight, right?
Well, man, the same one twice, like I said.
Yeah, but you were taking an uptight guy who had high blood pressure, right?
Do what?
You had high blood pressure.
Oh, exactly right.
And then all of a sudden you just head burst one day.
You know, one night in my sleep.
Wow, cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's cool the way you handled it. You know what I mean? Like you're always happy and stuff. Me, I'd be miserable. Be like, oh man, look at me, I'm shot. You know what I mean?
You'd be punching the left side of your body.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, Nicole here called into our radio show and said she was willing to date Dennis.
Amazingly.
Yeah.
Enough.
A lot of women said they weren't. Most of the women in our audience said they would not date Dennis. And Dennis has had a tough time. You know, Dennis is a handsome guy. I'm sure before the stroke. I bet your wife was good looking and stuff, right?
Oh, yeah.
She dumped you after the stroke?
Yeah, exactly. 1 year. I had my stroke March 21st of 84. She left March 21st of 85.
Wow. Yeah. Well, can't blame
her. It out a year.
Yeah, a year is more than I would. I would have left you the day after. So, I mean, you know.
She made sure you were all right before she left.
And after she left you, it was a downward spiral because all you could do to get it aroused was get that injection in your weenie. Like, what happened? Did your wife have to, sleep with you while you injected your weenie and stuff?
Because I wasn't taking the medicine back then.
You weren't taking the medicine, so you couldn't even get it up back then with her, right?
Once in a while.
Once in a while, what happened?
Man, it still happens once in a while naturally.
Oh, does it? You just got to have a woman around when it happens.
No, not necessarily.
Really? Hey, Nicole's rubbing your leg. Hey, feeling anything? She likes you.
Much better than that other lady you got in here.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
In August.
All right, so anyway, let me get this straight. But Dennis isn't a bad-looking guy, right?
No, he's not bad.
He's a nice-looking guy. It's just that after the stroke, he looks a little odd.
Well, when he starts that smiling and everything, like you said, if he's sitting there quiet, he looks okay.
Yeah, right. If you could learn to just keep your mouth shut, you'd probably get a lot more girls. And it's been a downward spiral because you mostly slept with big, fat ladies who are willing to, like, go to bed with you and wait for you to inject your weenie and stuff, right?
Right.
Right.
Have you had any relationships with these women?
No.
Well, I mean, nice women. I've had a couple of relationships with some nice women.
Yeah.
I did.
It's a man's world. If a girl has a stroke like this, forget it. She'll never get a date.
He's not gonna. Dennis goes to bars and he still picks up women.
Yeah.
Like I told you, I give them war stories. I told him I shot down a helicopter in Vietnam War. Remember I told you?
Yeah, that's smart. That's what I would do. I'd invent a pass real quick. Yeah, I wouldn't want to have the pass like I was sleeping one night and I woke up like this. I don't know what happened.
You know, I tell about a unicorn. You get us all excited.
Okay, whatever. All right, anyway. What did you say, Robin?
Something about a unicorn.
I think that's a penis reference, isn't it?
My unicorn, remember my toys?
Oh, your unicorn. Okay, very good. I don't know what you're talking.
You forgot about that, didn't you?
Well, no, I did. Oh, yeah, that's right. You're into rubber toys. That's right. He's into sex toys. Okay. Yeah, okay, take it easy.
You break that to him on the first date?
Yeah. All right, so what happened? So you called in, of course, Nicole, and you are very lovely. You got a nice body. Stand up again because I want to check out your body again. I got to remember what you look like. Let me see. Nice. You look cute in a skirt. Turn around. Let me see your ass.
Cheerleader.
Pick up your dress. Let me see your butt.
Stop
Just want to take a look. That's all.
Dennis's girl.
Oh, sorry. What do you? I was getting a little aroused there. I didn't even need my medication. So what about? What do you do? What kind of work are you into?
I'm a student.
Oh, you're a student. And what do you want to be when you get out of school?
I don't know. I'm studying biology right now.
Is that right? And have you made love to men before?
Yes.
You have? In college, you make love to some of the guys?
Sure.
Yeah? No kidding. So you've been around the block a few times, right?
No.
No.
Not that much.
Not that many times. And how old were you when you lost your virginity?
I told you I'm still a virgin.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Well, like I remember
We
this
don't
stuff.
remember exactly what you said. I was going to say maybe she hadn't made it all the way around the block yet. That's what it sounded like.
Oh, you're still a virgin.
Right.
Oh, poor Dennis. Oh, man. Oh, man.
She's not going to lose it to you.
So what's the furthest you've gone with a guy?
Well, my mother's listening. So
second base? Has anybody ever handled your lovely chest? Have you got to second base?
That's a yes.
Well, if I start blushing, you'll know.
So you did go to second base. Third base, has that ever been approached?
Where the hell is third base at?
You know where third base is at.
It's just before you go home.
Well, you really are brain damaged. You don't know where third base is at?
I forgot.
Use your hand. Figure it out. All right, so you've never been to third base with a guy?
I've done stuff, you know.
Oh. Really? Have you done stuff to guys?
Yeah.
You know, have you done some stuff to please some guys? Oh, you have? Oh, there you go. All right. I catch you. Licking your lips. You know. So your teeth aren't virgins. All right. All right. Understood. I'm reading between the lines. All right. That got me excited when you did that. All right. So anyway, what you're saying is that you, so where did you two kids meet? Where did you go out on your date?
Well, we went to a place in Cherry Hill, New Jersey called, what was it, a pub?
A pub.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a little steakhouse.
And when you saw Dennis, obviously he walks a little peculiar with his stroke and everything.
Was he sitting there already, or did you have to see that?
Did he have to make his entrance into the restaurant, or did you see him sitting?
Yeah, we walked in together.
You walked in together?
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh, I got picked up by a guy from WYSP in Philadelphia. He drove me over to the radio station where we met.
I see.
And then we took a limo over to the restaurant.
And what happens? Do they have to, does Dennis have to use a special ramp into the, No. He gets right in himself?
Yeah.
And so you get there and you're impressed with his appearance, or were you really?
Very nice.
I'll be honest. Were you turned off to him in any way?
When she got in the back of the limousine, first thing she said, she says, Dennis, I'm really pleased because when I saw you on the E! channel, because I was kind of skeptical about going out with you.
Yeah, you look really weird.
Yeah, on the E! channel.
That's from my holidays.
You mean he looks less weird here in person?
Yeah.
Really? Okay. Well, there you go. I don't know. Okay. Well, the E, I guess, is shot through a fish eye or something. What do they call that? A fish lens. You look like a fish. So you go out and you share a dinner together. And what about Dennis's eating? Is he able to eat in a somewhat normal fashion?
Yeah, I mean, I had to cut my own bread, of course, but it's pretty
Yeah.
What was that? You had to cut your own bread? You couldn't cut bread for her?
That's why. Well, first, she tried cutting her first piece of bread, and the butter knife slipped and knocked the butter all over the place.
No, it didn't.
Well, that's for them to do.
No.
And the guy from ISP.
They're having their first argument.
So what happened? You tried to cut the bread for her?
Yeah, and I couldn't do it.
You couldn't do it either. Two of you are both challenged, aren't you? So you tried. You wanted to be a gentleman, but sometimes your physical abilities are not. You can't take a medication to cut bread.
Yeah, they can't shoot something into your arm.
It's amazing. It's amazing they can shoot something into your penis to help you have sex, but you can't.
What?
Yeah.
Doctors know the most important thing.
Yeah.
Through the arm.
Right.
Fix the penis.
Fix the penis first. We'll worry about the arm next. All right. So you tried to cut the bread, and did you have a conversation? Does Dennis talk funny when he's eating?
Actually, no. Before we even walked in, they were having some problems. Like they were supposed to reserve a certain part of the restaurant.
Right.
It was like your favorite situation.
Yes.
There were 30 to 40 people. They were like black by chance. And
Really?
they were all seated down.
All black people?
Yeah.
Right.
And
who picked
the
place for the date?
Yeah, really. What? I've never been to a restaurant with all black people.
No. We were going to sit there. And then there was this whole table long of these people.
Oh, black
and they're
people.
about to order their meal.
Right.
And then the people from the E-Crew and the people that brought us there were all upset. They're like, what are you thinking? You were supposed to reserve this part of the restaurant for us. Kick these people out. Get them to me.
So you were going to try and kick black people out of the restaurant? Oh, boy.
Notice the E people went to the restaurant to do that.
Listen, you weren't eating at Denny's. So did they think...
So they're like, we're from the Howard Stern show. Could you please move? So they get all these people.
Did the black people move?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. There's a nice story.
They move when they hear the Howard Stern show.
So what are you saying? That black people aren't so bad. They aren't angry, right? They're nice people.
Were you afraid, though, that there was going to be an uprising?
I was just embarrassed.
I'm very shocked.
They moved all these people.
I'm very surprised that they did that so easily. I'm surprised there wasn't a riot in the place.
We haven't read about it on the news or anything?
And because Dennis's face is frozen, that permanent smile, did black people think Dennis was laughing at them? And did he get into a fight?
We had some people.
Yeah.
There were a few tables over from us, and they're like, don't put us on the camera. We're married, but not to each other.
Oh, wow. Let me tell you something. If I saw 50 black people sitting in a restaurant, I would have had a stroke. Good thing I wasn't there. My left side, I'd be like... That's good. All right. So you're telling me... All right, so you're telling me that... so you went to a mostly black restaurant. It just happened to be black that night.
The people that are around our table were.
Understood. By doing my Dennis impression, I've messed up my hair and must fix it.
Are you saying that they looked at Dennis and they decided to put him in the black section?
Yeah, that's what they said. I think white people were eating somewhere else. All right, so Dennis got put in the black section. All right, so that's one of the things you have to deal with when you're a little peculiar. You're a little different.
I didn't know that's what they did to the handicapped.
That happens to a lot of people I know who look a little off. They get into the black section. And what were the black people eating? Anything unusual?
No,
Knuckles?
they were about to take their order.
What was that?
No.
Fried chicken and watermelon.
Oh, that's silly. Black people don't eat. They eat knuckles and hooves. All right, so wait a second. Let me get this straight. So you sat down, and was the meal romantic? I mean, does Dennis, when he eats and talks at the same time, I could see a lot of spittle and food coming out. Yeah, nothing like that?
No.
So be honest, Nicole. Is there a little problem there?
No, he's fine.
He's fine that way?
Was there a subdued lighting, or was this a well-lit place?
Hopefully it was subdued.
Pretty well lit.
Oh, it was well lit. So those are really black people. It could have been just a dark room.
No, it's a really, really big restaurant.
I see. All right. So the food was, you had a good time. The food was nice. They treated you well. And so as you're talking and things, do things get romantic at the table at all?
What do you talk about with Dennis?
We talked about her career. And
you have no career.
Her career.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Your career is you have a stroke and you get a disability check.
I told you I'm a rector.
Yeah,
a what?
you said you were an erector.
An erector of what?
We erect metal buildings, remember I told you?
Yeah, but you hardly do anything. Go ahead.
You answer the phone.
You answer the phone there. You don't erect anything. All right, so go ahead. Your career is answering a phone. You're going to sit there and talk career with this woman? Well, what was her career?
She's college and...
I'm a biology major.
Oh, really? So you're smart. Maybe you'll be a doctor or something. And maybe she'll cure what ails your penis.
I come from a long
in
line
more
of
ways than
doctors.
one.
Oh, do you really? Are you really going to go try and be a doctor? Maybe you'll go into, like, medical research.
Chiropractor. That's where Dad is, right?
No, my brother's going to be a chiropractor.
Maybe you could find an invention to work his, fix his penis. Wouldn't that be incredible?
No, actually, I work in the drug industry.
Yeah. So does Jackie. You might want to talk to him. The drug industry. He's in the drug industry, too. Yeah, I sell bong water. Have you ever looked at semen under a microscope?
Actually, I did look at sperm one time.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
How'd it look? You want to see a picture of Dennis's sperm? Here it is. Yeah, this is it. Big smile on his face. There it is, right there.
Pretty big teeth. Are you sure those aren't...
Those are teeth. Okay. Yes. Okay, so wait a second. Let me get this straight.
Toys.
Okay.
You can put a unicorn on there.
All right.
All right, so let me get this straight. So you have what is that, Billy? Okay, shut up. All right, anyway, so you're telling me you had a romantic dinner. Was any romance discussed? Did you talk about the fact
Was there a warm feeling? Did you start to feel very nice toward Dennis? Was there any hand-holding? Anything going on?
Well, I kept feeling something down between my legs, and next thing I knew, she had her shoe off. She had her foot over there.
No.
Is that really true?
No.
Did you put your foot there?
Oh, Dennis.
You wish. She's a nice girl. So, Nicole, what happened? So what happened next? Did you, what happened? Look, he's breaking himself up. You're a real mess. No wonder you can't get girls.
You can't crack jokes like that.
She's got a nice body. You better not crack jokes. All right. Look, and he keeps looking over her body and everything. All right, just calm down.
Yeah, the entire time he's like, "Oh, you have beautiful eyes. You have beautiful eyes. I love your eyes."
Yeah,
so I
forget your
told
eyes.
this guy at work that he kept talking about my eyes. Now every time I see him, he's like, "Oh, Nicole, I love your eyes."
Yeah, right. I believe he wasn't looking at your eyes. He keeps looking over your legs and everything. You're looking at her legs. I keep catching you looking, don't you? Yeah. Look at you, you sly bastard. You think you're not being noticed, don't you? I see you. Yeah. All right. So wait a second. So I have
put his hand around my shoulders.
No, which hand? The left hand or the right hand?
No, the right hand.
The right hand. He keeps that left hand kind of low key. Yeah, right. So you
next to my tool.
There you go.
You can't get him off of it.
No, he's very sexed up. You think for a guy who has no sexual feeling down there, you would think that. Do you have any feeling down there whatsoever?
Oh, yeah.
You do. You just can't get aroused.
Well, I do once in a while.
No, I know. Okay, we heard once in a while. Once in a blue moon. Also, Haley's Comet comes every 7
Right,
6
you
years.
never know when it's going to happen.
So you put your good arm around her.
Right.
And during the meal?
No, because we were sitting across from each other.
Right.
Yeah.
And what happened when you put your arm around her? Did she vomit? No, she liked it. You liked it.
Yeah, it was fine.
It felt good.
I don't know.
And was there a kiss at the table or?
Not at the table.
No.
Until we left.
All right. So what do you think? So you were done with your meal. How long did that take? An hour or two?
Yeah, about.
All right, 2 hours. And you walk out. Right. And what happens? When does this kiss occur?
Oh, when he kissed me goodbye.
You mean was the date over after the meal?
Yeah, we went to South Street.
Yeah, just the E-Crew had to do some interviews.
I see. So you went to. Did you want to still be with Dennis, or you were ready to go home?
Actually, I was getting pretty tired by the end.
I see. Well, Dennis is very exhausting.
Yeah, he takes a lot out of you.
Did Dennis invite you back to his place, or?
Well, she had to give her over the next morning to go.
Yeah.
I see.
Someplace.
And did you tell her you liked her? Did he say anything romantic to you?
I sent her a nice thank you card saying.
Yeah, he sent me a really nice thank you card.
And did you? So what happened as you were leaving? He says, "Hey, I want to kiss you goodnight."
Yeah, I think.
What did you say to her? What's your move, dude?
I said, "Do I get a kiss goodnight?" She said, "Sure, yeah." So about 15 minutes later, we were done.
15 minutes you were alone?
Done.
15 minutes later? No kidding.
Was that involved?
Nicole, now you're saying no, it wasn't 15 minutes. How long was it, Nicole?
Yeah, he just kissed me on my cheek.
Oh,
Dennis.
Even 15 minutes later, we were done.
On the cheek.
I like that.
15 minutes to fuck her up.
I was done 15 minutes later.
Right. No, what happened? So you only kissed her on the cheek, didn't you?
Yeah.
You want to be a big shot here and tell us he kissed her for 15 minutes. All that was so in your mind, she was putting her foot between your legs and kissing you. Well, I don't blame you. She's a very nice
a
girl.
whole romantic interlude that she was no part of.
Nicole, be honest. Any interest in seeing Dennis again, or is it pretty much over?
Well, I told her that my thank you card, I like to maybe every year, like we met November 11th.
Yeah.
Maybe keep in touch every year. Got a special date every year. Me and her.
Which would be good, since it's Veterans Day. He thinks he's a war hero.
So you're interested in seeing him once a year, or
No, I wouldn't mind hanging out with him once in a while.
But you're not interested romantically?
Well, I'm dating some other people now.
Immediately afterwards. So you went out and found other guys as soon as...
Whose both sides work, I'll bet.
Oh, that's sad. So you poor Dennis. Boy, you'd be some catch for him.
Dennis.
Oh, you'd be perfect for him. So you don't even want, out of curiosity, watch him inject himself?
Well, if I ever become a doctor, maybe I'll come up with something better for him, which I can administer.
I see.
Dennis is going to live long enough for her to make that
easy, pal. Easy. Well, that's too bad. Well, you struck out again. Well, maybe it's back to fat chicks for you, huh, Dennis?
No, he didn't strike out.
He struck out.
You're not going to go to bed with him. You don't want to see him again.
Why don't you give him a kiss now? Oh. She looks like your daughter, for God's sake. Actually, Nicole is dating the driver from that night.
Is that
yes.
right? He's older than him.
No, I'm just joking, of course. Just joking. Well, anyway, there it is. Unfortunately, Dennis didn't find love. Have you found any girls since, Nicole, or no?
Any girls?
Yeah, have you gotten any women in bed since, Nicole?
No.
No, not you. I'm talking to Dennis.
They said it's only been 2 weeks.
What?
It's only been 2 weeks since we went out.
So you haven't found any women since, sir?
Well, I had a date last Friday night, matter of fact.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Did you get anything?
Went and saw Temptations in Four Tops.
You went to see the Temptations in the Four Tops?
Yeah.
Did you get her in the sack afterwards?
No.
How much did this one weigh?
Oh, she wasn't bad.
She wasn't bad?
No.
Really? Good for you.
You think you'll see her again?
No.
No.
Is she going to go out with you again, the girl?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah? Here's Dennis's future, since Nicole won't go out with him. Here's a picture of Dennis.
With the needle.
There he is with his needle. There's his big fat girlfriend. Dennis with his needle injecting himself. And you'll see that on the E! Network.
It's so funny because you always do it with a big smile. No matter what.
Oh, there it is. Well, anyway.
Yeah, I had fun. It was really
I know you had fun, but he's after a girlfriend. You'd be perfect for him. Yeah. Yes, to be honest. Why didn't you tell her you want sex? Maybe that's what she was waiting to hear. Man, be a little forceful. Tell her what you wanted. All right, okay. He's a little choked up right now.
But Howard, she said she wanted to play
Yeah, what happened to butt bongo?
What is that?
She wanted to let you play butt bongo.
You want me to butt bongo you? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so she went out with Dennis to meet you.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Pretty obvious.
You know what butt bongo is? That's where I smack your cheeks. You think your mother can handle me doing that to you? Oh, you seem a little giddy. That means I pull up that little dress of yours and I start pounding on your cheeks. You could handle that?
Sure.
Really? What's your favorite song? I'll butt bongo you.
She brought a song with her, she said.
I was going to, I forgot.
What song? What song you like? I'll smack your cheeks around a little. Sure. What do you want?
I don't know.
You're going to get over my lap and let me smack you? Really? Wow. You couldn't get anything off her?
Can I watch?
Yeah, I guess you could.
That's as far as he's going to get. Wow.
Can I sit on your lap?
Oh. She's coming on to Dennis. Now, why are you sitting on Dennis's lap? I thought you're not interested in him.
You guys think I don't like him.
Do you like it? Well, how come you didn't kiss him? Oh, whoa, easy.
Wait, you got my cord.
Now he's complaining.
So you do like him?
Yes, I like him.
So you're going to go out with him again?
Maybe.
Really?
I don't think so. I just don't get the feeling you like him in that way.
I don't think you like him as a man, sexually. Do you?
I think he's really nice.
Oh, I see. Well, then wiggle around on him a little. So give me some. There you go.
They don't look like Shanae.
Whatever. All right. Well, anyway, do you want me to butt bongo you? What song do you want?
I don't know. What do you usually use?
Well, I could use. See what I have here. I could use I got the new Baywatch album.
Play to that.
What's on that?
I got David Hasselhoff and Laura Branigan singing a duet.
That's the stuff.
All right, I'll play that one. Let me get that all queued up. All right, come over here, my little sweetheart.
All right.
All right, I'll teach you a little lesson in life. Sure, Nicole, you want this?
Yeah.
You're a little young for this, but come here. That's a virgin buttocks. Never had that.
There you go, Howard.
Obviously, Nicole, very attracted to me. Is that right, Nicole?
Yeah.
All right, let me see. You ready? Get over my lap. No, don't sit on my lap. Get over my
I
lap.
can't even beat you if you're sitting on it.
Hey, get over here. Get over. Come here. Sit down. What? What?
This is so funny.
Oh, she's already excited.
You're already excited, aren't you? Are you excited?
Yeah.
You wearing a bra?
No.
No?
All right. Hey, get out that camera. Look at that. This Dennis taking pictures. No pictures. Get down.
Poor Dennis.
We got 97 cameras in here. She has no pictures.
He can't even get a picture of her butt.
All right. Okay, you ready? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up. You got underpants on?
Yeah, underpants.
All right, I'm going to pick up your dress. I'm going to spank your cheeks.
All right.
All right. All right, get down. Tell me you're not digging this. Tell me you're not totally turned on right now, are you?
Yeah.
Are you aroused? Yes. I knew it.
This is what happens when the girl likes you, Howard. They ask you to do things.
See, Dennis, this is the way it goes. See? Let me see what you're doing back here. Nice buns. Hey, what kind of underpants are these? My mom wears underpants like these. These are giant. Look at these giant underpants. Look at these things. Bloomers.
Bikini cut.
Oh, puny cut.
Bikini.
This bikini. I can't even see your cheeks.
Bloomers.
Bloomers.
Granny panties.
Granny panties. That's right. All right, here we go. You ready? Let me go. Let me see. Let me get the music going. You ready to be spanked?
Music.
Hold on, I got to get my CD together.
You got to get more than that.
It's a beautiful song by.
I can't believe this. Like everyone at work is going to be making.
What is that?
Everyone's going to be making fun of me tomorrow.
Yeah, of course. All right, this is a good beat, man. David, all right, let me lift up your. Here you go. You ready?
Yeah.
Hey, I need a microphone to mic her buttocks.
Yeah.
Hey, wait a second. Here, just bring that one over. All right, you ready? Hey, David Hasselhoff singing with some urgency. I got it. You're talking to this one, okay? If you feel like moaning, you can moan. I like these songs they put out. The songs of Baywatch, such urgency in these songs, you know?
Well, he's got to go save somebody who's drowning.
Really important. All right, you ready to be spanked? Are you ready? I can't hear you.
Is she talking to you?
No, she's like putting headphones on. Hey, just talk. Don't worry about your headphones. Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. Get ready. How you doing down there? What? How is that?
It's fine.
You like it?
Yeah.
Are you done?
No.
You want more? Yeah? Okay, she wants more. Hold on. It's this David Hasselhoff song. It's what? What is that? Savannah? Yeah, this is what I did. Who's Savannah? Here we go.
Porno star who killed herself.
Yeah. Here we go. You ready? Hey, Dennis, you want Jackie to spank you? Come on, get over Jackie's lap. Maddie, you had enough?
Yeah.
Really? Does it sting? Did you get turned on?
Yeah.
Did you really? Are you hot? Like you could have sex now?
No.
No? All right. Let me turn this crap off.
Don't call David Hasselhoff's music crap.
Sorry. I know that's going to sell a lot of copies in Europe.
My music is really important.
Look at her. She looks like totally messed up. You're like dizzy with love or something, all right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Are you dizzy?
Yeah.
Seriously? What's the story on that?
Oh, I don't know if I can sit down now.
Are you a little sore?
Are you sore?
A little.
You dug that, huh?
Yeah.
You might be into that in a big way. I think I unleashed something in her. Dennis, man, I can't believe you couldn't score with her. What?
I moved too slow.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
Story of my life.
She's open to some wild experimentation. I just spanked her. Look at that, I spanked her silly. She can't even talk. She was all talkative before. Now she's all messed up.
No, I'm fine, really.
You're a bad girl.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh. She said, ooh.
Janice has to go on anything. She said, ooh.
She said, ooh. Poor Dennis, living in a dream world.
Poor baby.
She said, ooh.
She said, ooh.
Well, listen, you two, I'm sorry it didn't work out in a romantic way, but at least I got something off you.
Well, can I answer with something, Howard?
What?
I want to answer something real quick.
You want to ask her something?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Will you marry me?
Would you marry him?
No.
I think he's serious. Are you being serious? Are you?
When she got older, maybe.
Well, why not? Ask her again in a serious way.
When you get older.
No, I don't think so.
Ask Fred to marry you.
I'll marry you.
She's all shook up from her spanking.
Kindly towards you.
You got completely like wasted from that. You're drunk on love, aren't you?
Yeah.
Are you really?
Yeah.
See, I told you she just went out with Dennis to meet you.
No, I didn't. Why do you say that?
Are you horny now from what I just did to you?
A little.
Really? Too bad, Dennis.
What do you mean, too bad?
I got her all horny, and you just asked her to marry you, and she don't even want to marry you. This is the most... Have you ever been proposed to before?
A few times.
Really? Good for you.
But I decided to take your advice since you got married too young and didn't get to experience all those women who come on to you. I thought I'd wait a little while.
All right. Well, too bad, Dennis. She's listening to me.
She's taking Howard's advice.
On the upside of that proposal, Jackie says yes, he will marry you. He loves you. He's in love with you.
I love you.
All right. Anyway, so there's an update on Dennis. What?
Palms are all sweaty.
Are they really? You just shook his hand?
I hope that.
What are your palms all sweaty from?
I'm nervous.
All right. Anyway, that's Dennis, the guy who injects himself in order to get an erection.
Still no love for Dennis.
No love for Dennis, but Nicole, I'm sorry it didn't work out for you in a romantic way, but you made a new friend.
Yeah.
Great. And you enjoyed your spanking, right? Yeah. Okay.
Dennis is answering her question now.
You really liked it?
Yeah.
You want to be spanked again?
She's in a daze, isn't she?
She is in a daze.
Yeah.
There in the space.
I must really have an effect on her. Robin, let me spank you. Don't you want to be dizzy like that?
I don't want to be like that.
He had a stroke.
What's going through your head? Did you have a stroke? Well, what's going through your head right now? You're totally distracted, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
What are you thinking about?
I
Sex?
think like people making fun of me or something.
Oh, man, it made you paranoid. It made you stoned by spanking.
Yeah.
No, we're not making fun of you.
All right.
I'm just sad for Dennis that he can't get in a sack with you, that's all. He's obviously attractive.
Oh, no, you're making me feel guilty.
No, don't ever sleep with a guy out of guilt.
What are you saying over there, Howard? That's the only way you got sex.
I had to guilt women into it. All right, anyway, listen, Nicole, congratulations to you on your date with
thanks
Dennis.
a lot. I really did enjoy it.
Good, I'm glad, and thank you for coming in here and sharing the date with us. And Dennis, that's back to the fat women. Good luck with you, all right? Okay, you tried. I can't keep sending you out on dates.
I understand.
Okay. Robin will be back with the news.
All right.
You're listening to the biggest media hero in the universe.
Oh, yeah.
Howard Stern.
Media hero.
Yes. That's very true. I've been called that.
I don't even know what that is.
Let's dance. Who is this? This is good.
I think it's Soundgarden.
I love that band. How come I don't have that? I have the Soundgarden. What album is that? It must be an early album.
Oh, wait a minute.
What album?
Correction, that is Rage.
Rage Against the Machine?
Right. A song called Wake Up.
I'll have to get that. I have to get that album then. Rage Against the Machine. I'm going to get that, Robin.
I suggest you do. You like it?
I'm going to get that.
You go right out and get that, Howard, if you want that.
In fact, I'm going to leave right now and get it.
Goodbye.
I'll see you later. There's a great article in the paper about how these lawyers are sucking us dry. And I got to say one thing. I am glad the Republicans got in because of one issue. The Republicans are now striving, now that they have a majority, to reform the laws in this country regarding torts. You know what a tort is? It's vanilla with chocolate.
I knew you were going to say that. A tort is some kind of a legal term. I don't know exactly what it is. Are those civil cases?
Listen, whether they're civil, uncivil, I don't care. I am telling. First of all, there was the article states that you know what the biggest growth industry in New York State was?
What?
Show cards?
No, not show cards. Legal practice, lawyer bills. Listen to this. New York law firms rake in $14.3 billion.
Ooh, that's a lot of money.
14.3 for doing nothing. You understand that all of these bills and money is exchanged because of nothing?
I bet you mostly they're suing the city.
They're saying the only people who got tremendous amounts of increases
in their income
are lawyers, because people are suing like mad.
And they must be winning. They're collecting.
It's not even that. It's the people who have to defend against these frivolous lawsuits. They come from corporations.
That's true.
They are sucking. Listen to this. Did you forget about in New Mexico, a jury handed down $2.7 million in punitive damages against McDonald's because an elderly woman said she had been burned by hot coffee she was holding in a cup between her legs while she was driving?
Yeah.
Juries have taken the responsibility. First of all, I can't get a hot cup of coffee anywhere. You finally got a place like McDonald's that makes a hot cup of coffee, and now they're telling you can't have hot coffee because some woman has to drive around with coffee between her legs.
That should be an advertisement, you're saying, that their coffee is so hot.
Of course, you can't get a hot cup of coffee. I go to restaurants, I can't get a hot cup of coffee. Do you know I can't get a hot cup of coffee?
Well, they probably don't serve you hot coffee because you'll sue them.
If you're old and you're driving, you shouldn't be holding coffee between your legs. Of course, anybody knows that. $2.7 million.
You have to wonder about juries that award such things.
So the Republicans have said, listen, this has got to stop. If this country is going to have any kind of growth. So here's what they're trying to do. First of all, they're trying to free retailers and distributors from most product liability suits. Now, what does that mean? That means if you are hurt by a defective product, Robin.
Yes.
It's the manufacturer's fault. What people do, what these lawyers figured out, they're going to sue the guy who sells it to you. Some poor schlub opens up a store. He's got to have insurance. He's got to pay rent every month. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He's got this huge overhead. He's trying to make ends meet. He sells you a product X that he gets from the manufacturer. He's an innocent. He doesn't know what.
He hasn't checked it.
And then he gets sued and he's wiped out. End of sentence. The store closes. Employees are let go. People are bankrupted. So they're trying to free people. They're trying to bar punitive damages against the makers of drugs and vaccines and medical devices that have been tested and approved by the FDA. The FDA is supposed to test and prove this stuff. They give their approval. They put it out on the market. Somebody has a negative reaction. Everybody sues. But how could there be development of new drugs? You know there are drugs that would cure schizophrenia in this country, and the reason the drug companies will not put it on the market is because they found out. Now, you know what schizophrenia is. That's where you can't even function. Your life is over once you get schizophrenia. If there was a drug that could cure you, you would take it.
No, you said it causes what, liver damage or something?
No, they're saying that in 1 out of 100 cases, it could cause cancer. Now, they're telling you that up front. But the reason they won't release it here in this country is because they know the lawyers will get a hold of it like Piranha the day it's released, and they will file lawsuits. Some of them will be real lawsuits. Some of them will be frivolous. Doesn't matter. They suck this country dry, these lawyers. They suck the energy out of it.
What I have for you, though, Howard, is there have been cases of product manufacturers submitting bogus results from testing to the FDA to get approval of drugs.
And then the manufacturer is responsible. They're saying in a responsible instance where the manufacturer has gone through FDA testing, hasn't sit and falsified anything, and it says, hey, it's FDA approved, and they put a warning on it. 1 out of 100 of you will be getting cancer. The rest of you will now have normal lives. If I had schizophrenia where I couldn't tell the difference between reality and fantasy, I would take the chance. I'd like to give that drug to Fred.
A day of normalcy from Fred would be worth it.
You're damn right. Imagine the productivity I'd get out of him. Now they say, listen to this. They want to prohibit lawsuits in which the plaintiff's use of alcohol or illegal drugs caused an accident or an injury. Now, understand what's going on here. A guy goes in his car drunk after he's been to a bar. He gets smacked up in an accident. He sues the bar for serving him. This is insanity.
Or the victims sue the bar.
Right. You've got to understand something. If we have that in this country, all commerce will come to an end. At some point, a judge or somebody a legislator has to come to their senses and say, what is this country becoming? The responsibility has to fall on the individual. It's like saying, I'm responsible for your behavior.
Well, we've become a country of people who want everything taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's supposed to know how hot the coffee's supposed to be.
Right.
Somebody else is supposed to know whether I can walk over a sidewalk with ice on it.
Right.
You know, the whole thing.
No one in this planet has ever walked over a sidewalk with ice. No one else has sidewalks with ice. And notice the lawyers will only take on the cases where a big corporation, where they can suck the life's energy out of the corporation. And the Republicans are... So I applaud the Republicans, and if that's the only thing they do, I don't even care if they lower the deficit. If that's the only thing they do for this country, they've performed well.
Well, we could use the lowering of the deficit as well.
Well, of course. But I must applaud that. When I see legal fees in New York accounted for more than the cost of daycare, laundry, dry cleaning, haircuts, shoe repair, video rentals, funerals, and tickets to movies, the theater, concerts, and sporting events combined. Now, why do you think that is? You know why. The legal newspaper reports that New York State law firms took in $14.3 billion from clients in 1992, 3 times more than they did a decade earlier.
They ought to be proud of themselves.
Lawyers do not produce anything. They don't give you anything. It's a minimal service at best. It's a joke. It's people defending themselves against frivolous lawsuits because judges play into it. We have a lot of bad judges. They can end these lawsuits in 2 seconds, wrap it up, but they play into it.
Well, it's like the law is a game, and they don't realize there's real money after you finish playing this game being tossed around. That has an effect.
New York City law firms made most of the money with 77% of the statewide total. Now, why is that? Because in New York State, they sit there and they sue all the big corporations for you. That's what it is.
People always think, well, yeah, they've got tons and tons of money, but you don't realize when the corporation spends all of its money on defending itself, it doesn't spend its money on product development, which creates more jobs.
It's the worst. I know lawyers who privately admit to me that they're sucking the economy dry. They won't say it on the air. What is it?
It's a guy on the phone who got hit by a drunk driver, paraplegic, and he sued the bar.
Right.
And listen to his reasoning.
Hello? Hi.
Hello?
Yeah, you're on the air.
How are you?
Now, you got hit by a drunk driver.
I was coming home from work one day. I was working late. I got hit by a drunk driver. I'm a paraplegic. I sued the bar because I got to be compensated for something because my life is over.
Right. But the problem that I have is that the guy who was doing the drinking and the driving, he's not responsible in any way. He probably didn't have a dime.
You're right. That's why I sued the bar, because the guy, I'm not going to get anything out of the driver.
Yeah, but the poor bar guy is sitting there going, I'm serving people. I got to now keep track of where they go.
He's the guy who's working.
He's an innocent.
I said to this guy, when I was asking him about it, I said, you never went to a bar and left with a couple of drinks in you? The guy said, yeah. And I go, well, then how can you say this? Hey, I got to cover myself.
You got to say something. This guy...
I've never driven drunk, I said, Baba
right.
Booey.
This guy is doing what he's going to do to get some money. You understand?
Right.
It's the system that stinks. They shouldn't allow this guy to sue the bar. It should be out of the question. The guy who should have to pay the rest of his life is this driver. Now, you're telling me, unfortunately, there are drivers who drive around drunk who don't have a dime to their name. Right. But that's not the bar owner's fault.
Absolutely.
The guy who drives around drunk like that, they should take this guy, and for the rest of his life, he should be chained to this guy's wheelchair and have to push him around. If it was up to me, I'd take that guy who hit this guy, I would take him and cut his legs off. Then you wouldn't see any more drunk driving. The reason there's so much drunk driving is there's no penalty. They're still going to make the guy who owns the bar pay the tab.
You don't think that...
As long as they make the guy... No, listen to me. You should be compensated, but not by the bar owner. Unfortunately,
the guy that hit me.
That's right.
The guy that
join the club.
$35,000 a year.
Join the club. That's what I'm saying. The way to stop drunk driving, so you never would have gotten hit in the first place. You know what the way to do it is? Execute him. You take a guy like this and execute him. He killed you. Basically, he killed your life.
What is he doing now?
My life is up. I don't know. I think he probably went to jail for, 3 months?
The only guy who suffered...
His life is back.
The only guy who suffered was the bar owner, and the bar owner...
And me, what about... I didn't suffer?
No. You're missing the point. We're trying to get guys who drive drunk off the streets. That's what we're trying to prevent here. And the joke of it is the judges will not do anything to the guy who drove the car. They let him off after 3 months, probably, with probation.
He's got an illness.
He's got an illness. The poor bar owner, the poor slob who's trying to make a living and feed people and do a business, he's got to pay for the rest of his life for your misfortune.
And I'm paying for it also.
We know about that.
But you don't seem to care about that. You care about corporate America.
No. I don't care about a bar owner paying. I care about the man who hit you suffering, not the guy. Do what you want. What can I tell you? I don't blame you. If I got hit by a car, I'd sue the bar too.
Whoever you could.
Right.
He sees the bar owner as corporate American. It's not. It's a
bar owner. And I'll tell you one thing. If a woman burns her vagina because she's carrying around hot coffee, that's her problem, not mine.
The guy's doing his job serving this guy drinks. However, I'm the one who's suffering. I'm not going to get squat from the hit me.
Sir, let me tell you something. Do you know how many people, do you know how many illegal aliens are driving around this country, immigrants and stuff who drive around without licenses? They drive around drunk all the time. And then you get, there's a million of them.
Probably the guy who hit you had a number of DWIs to his credit already.
If the judges would take 20 of these guys and make an example of them and execute them or put them in jail for stiff sentences, you would see drunk driving go away. You understand? The problem isn't solved by you getting paid by some bar owner.
I can't walk.
We know you can't walk. Everyone feels bad about it.
But the drunk drivers are still on the road is what he's saying.
That guy still has his license. They don't even revoke your license, these judges. These judges are sucking the system dry, and these lawyers are... What's the answer? Reform. We have to have government take control of the courts. The courts are out of control. I could give you a list of judges now, make your head spin what they're involved in. Guys, judges who push up court dates because of celebrities. Wait till I could make a list of judges, make your head spin who suck. I'm starting to look into it now, and we're going to start voting as a block against some of these judges. I'm finding all about their voting records and what the hell they do on the bench and how they decide on cases. I'm looking into it. You got guys who they're anxious to retire. They want to haul the big corporations and get celebrity cases. When I say celebrity, a McDonald's corporation, this kind of stuff. They want to get to a divorce case that has
big publicity.
Has Steven Seagal or something.
Right, so they can get their names in.
They all want to be Judge Ito now. They saw Judge Ito. They're all out of their minds. Listen, let me tell you something. It's the judge. The judges are the worst. They think they're running fiefdoms over there.
There is no easy answer, Howard.
There is an easy answer. I have all the answers. I gave you the answer.
How long is that going to take to implement all that stuff you just told me?
Make me the president of the United States. I guarantee I'll get it done.
Disclosure. How are you going to be president?
I can't disclose my finances. I want to be the president.
Stop asking.
Well, he's got all the answers.
You go open the paper today and see how many different accidents and hotlines there are if you've been injured, even if you haven't been injured.
Look at the TV shows.
They're like sharks. These lawyers are like sharks and piranha all circling. Don't you see it? They're sucking us dry.
Unfortunately, you had a real problem, but there are an awful lot of people who don't even have a problem who are suing because they know lawyers will do it.
I know a woman, she goes around and slips in new construction so that she can get paid off. It's a whole racket. Then they
and the lawyers encourage it when they say, maybe if you were near an accident, you don't know what happened to you. Give us a call.
They get something right off the top.
Hey, speaking on this topic, do me I got to give a cryptic message on the air. There's a listener of mine who met my running mate, Stan Dworkin, at one of these antique card shows. You gave Stan a very interesting piece of information. I need you to contact me or Stan about it. You'll know what I'm talking about. I got some information on a case. This guy knows what I'm talking about. You told Stan Dworkin the information. We have no way of getting in touch with you. If you could get in touch with me, I'm going to publicize this. Thank you. Very cryptic, I know. I hate to be cryptic on the air.
You're giving a message over the radio for one person.
That's right.
Oh, boy.
You're damn right. I'm doing some investigative reporting right now, Robin.
Okay. You're like the Ricky Lake Show. Please call.
Yeah, I got one that's going to blow your mind. So how much money did you get from the bar?
It's still in litigation.
Well, hopefully you'll bankrupt them.
I'm not trying to bankrupt the bar.
Well, yeah, sure you
that's
are.
what everybody thinks, too. Well, he's got insurance. It's not him really paying.
No problem. Yeah, wait till he tries to get insurance again. He'll never get it. His career is over, that bartender. He could close shop tomorrow.
My career is over.
We know your career is over.
You don't give a crap.
The bar didn't do it.
You don't give a crap.
Who?
You.
You're a big putz.
You're yelling at a guy who's a paraplegic.
I don't care what he is. Let him come down here. I'll kick his ass.
Boy, you're a big man.
Let's see him.
Old people and cripples, you'll kick their ass.
Hey, I'm not a good fighter. I got to take on who I can take on. You only take on who you can beat.
Shame on you.
Dennis will kick his ass. The guy who injects his penis.
That's right. You'll put Dennis's right side up against him any day.
Damn right. This is the biggest problem our country faces. 70% of the world's lawyers live in this country. What is it?
You can make a choice here, all right?
All right.
On 260 is a guy who's got two DWs, and he doesn't think he should be paying the money he's paying because he's on welfare.
Go ahead.
On the hotline is a woman who has lawyers She just wanted to. She slipped and fell. She just wants to get compensation back, but the lawyers are trying to tell her to sue for more.
Of course.
Yeah,
of course. Well, good. I'll talk to both of them. Here, hey, buddy. First of all, you. Hello? You there?
Hello. Yeah.
What is your problem? You got 2 DWIs?
Yeah.
No, you should be. I would execute you.
Why are you? Did you use welfare money to buy all the booze that made you so drunk?
No, I was coming back from a wedding, and the cop took a look at. I have long hair and stuff like that. He took a look at me, and he drove past me. He pulled me over after he saw who I was. He made up a bogus speeding thing, and he pulled me over. He gave me a breathalyzer. I blew a 1.1, which is just barely over the legal limit.
I have no problem with that.
Well,
so what are you telling me? So what did you have to pay?
Well, so far it's going to turn out to be $6,000 in surcharges, $3,000 in insurance.
Let me ask you something. With all of this grief you're getting,
yeah,
will you drink again and get in a car?
I tell you the truth, I'm more concerned with not putting a bullet in my head right now because I only make $3,000 a year until I get my...
You sound like an able-bodied guy. How is it you make $3,000 a year? What job is it that pays $3,000? I've worked at radio stations.
The second D-League.
Welfare.
You're on welfare. Well, why can't you get a job?
Because I have 2 broken discs in my back, and I'm awaiting disability. And
from who? Who's going to pay you disability?
The government.
And you say broken disc. They're broken discs. You can still walk. You have the ability to walk. What is with this broken disc? How did you break these discs?
I fell off a cliff when I was 14 years old.
And you have who is going to pay your disability?
Well, it's supposed to be the government, right?
Do you walk?
Yeah, I can walk sometimes.
You can work.
Does every job require his back to do something? He can't sit and do something?
He does. This guy is a big, wise guy. He does plenty of partying, this guy.
Yeah, he's out there bending his elbow pretty stiff at that wedding.
Yeah, no, please. He could work.
And
stop feeling sorry for yourself. Get a job. You could make more than $3,000 a
Since
year.
you're such a good driver, why don't you drive for a living?
Could you clean a house?
No.
You couldn't clean a house?
No.
I guarantee you could clean a house.
He couldn't drive a truck?
No.
At the wedding, did you do the alley cat?
No.
Yeah.
He was doing the limbo. What are you talking
limbo.
about?
He was limboing under a broom. Would the lawyer instruct you to answer like this? No, I can't do anything. You know, on Channel 4
on Friday night.
Channel 4 tonight, they're running a report of all the people who were collecting disability. They got them limboing. They got them riding ponies. Wait till
carrying sofas.
Yeah, I wish I could do that stuff.
Can you make a pot holder on a loom?
I haven't really tried.
Well, learn how. You'll make some money. Could you work in a flea market, sitting there and selling things? Sure you could.
You haven't investigated what you could do.
He just talked about what he can't do.
Phone sex. Phone sex.
You could do gay phone sex.
Now tell us you can't do that.
You can't do gay phone sex?
No, I'd say that's a safe bet. I can't do that.
Oh, too uptight, huh? Like Fred does that.
Hey, if you wanted to eat bad enough.
Yeah. If there was no welfare, you'd be doing gay phone sex. Hi. What's your name? How are you?
I want you to put your hand in your lap there.
You've got really nice hairy eyes.
Well, you've really helped the person who's already suicidal about this. Thank you very much.
Oh, please, stop feeling sorry for yourself. He's suicidal. He's so suicidal. Why didn't he kill himself?
He was pretty well having a good time at that wedding, drinking and driving.
He's already suicidal.
And John says that's his second DWI, so this isn't even the first time that's happened to him.
Yeah, suicidal.
And it was only 1.1, which is just a little over.
Yeah.
Always an excuse.
First of all, you don't have to pay the $6,000. I'll tell you why.
You don't have any money.
You don't have any money. You don't have any money. You got it made in
I
this
only
world.
make $3,000 a year.
So do you get money? You get a whole
that
situation.
would be the incentive for him never to make money, because he'd have to pay somebody else.
Right. Hello?
Hello?
So here's a woman on just the opposite. She just wants to get a little bit of compensation. The lawyer says, get more compensation. That's how they coach you. They coach you.
Howard, I was really shocked. First of all, it was the pure negligence of the store. I had fallen.
Right.
Another customer and an employee had fallen in the same spot.
I got to tell you something, though. The old days, 30, 40 years ago, you fell in a store, you picked yourself up and you went home.
Well, no. But this wasn't just a fall, Howard. I had slipped. It was very slick, and my head went into the counter. I was bleeding for 15, 20 minutes. I had to go to the hospital. This was a bit more than just a slip.
So I don't understand. Why is it the store's fault? How did you slip?
The floor was slick. There was an oil slick that they had neglected to clean up. And an employee had also slipped in the same spot.
30 years ago, they call you a clumsy bitch. Throw you out of the store.
No, I'm not a clumsy bitch.
Everybody would do it. I see, you know what? I am a careful person. I walk in a store. I see some oil on the floor. I walk around.
Well, Because you don't see it.
Well, open your eyes.
You can't see. No.
What is with everybody? Everybody's got a lawyer now. This is what's draining. All right, so then...
Were you running through the store?
No, just walking.
I'm glad you fell.
Walking. It's almost like a sheet of ice.
All right, so let's assume it was... All right, go ahead. What is the point?
If you want your doctor bills paid for at the hospital, I called several lawyers. They all said the same thing to me. They said, how do you think you'll feel in 6 months from now? I said, fine.
Right.
They said, well, what you have to do is you have to establish that you have a problem. I said, but I don't have a problem. I said, I have stitches in my head, but there was no problem.
But you're healing, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
They said, I said to them, I don't want to fabricate and put me in a neck brace and complain of headaches when I don't have them.
Right.
They all said they would never think of that. But they have the names of chiropractors and neurologists.
Chiropractors are the biggest bunch of crooks on the planet.
I have to set up appointments for 6 months.
Oh, boy.
And then it makes it worth their while.
There's a couple honest chiropractors, but there's very few. That chiropractic is all a big joke. There is no such thing as that helping you. I guarantee it.
I said to the lawyer, I will first have a problem if I go to a chiropractor.
Oh, they'll fix you up. You'll walk out with a problem. Hey, let me tell you something. You're an honest woman. There's very few like you. And if you really were rock solid, you'd pick up the phone and call... Who is the government agency to report these lawyers to? You ought to report the ones that told you to do this.
And take the list with the chiropractors and the doctors on it. Have them investigated, too.
But believe me, you know who's in charge of all this? Other lawyers. They won't do anything.
Well,
call this number. I have a hotline I've set up. Call 516-922-9463. And report this information immediately to this very important service.
And what is this service?
It's Jackie's joke line. I got to admit it.
I think that would give me more of a laugh than the lawyers.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, Howard,
you are absolutely right. You need to say no. You need to say nothing.
What I'm saying is lawyers promote dishonesty.
Of course, they're all crooks. Thank you.
Because they're in it for the money.
They're in it for the money. The law has become such that every jerk who's got about a B average in high school decides to become a lawyer.
Right.
And they're all out there now sitting and figuring out, how am I going to make a living? I spent 8 years getting this stupid degree. They get this dumb degree. And now they're sitting wondering why they're not making any money. And now they have to go feed on these frivolous lawsuits. They file them day and night.
Well,
they file them all the time.
They take it on a contingency basis.
Oh,
so that they will get a third of what you get.
Well, because they know that the insurance companies will settle in 2 seconds because it costs too much money to defend. The other crooks are busy taking the other guy's money to defend the case. You can't hire a good lawyer to defend your case unless you're paying hundreds of thousands of dollars. You read what's going on here.
And a young hungry lawyer doesn't want it either because it's not worth his while.
Oh, the whole country has fallen to this sickness. We are in a sickness mode. We are now. This is worse than the Black Plague.
This is the best one yet.
What is it?
A woman got in a car accident when she was pregnant, only 2 months pregnant, and the lawyer tried to tell her that it was better to have an abortion because she can sue now for loss of life.
Oh, yeah, here. Let me go get that one. Thank you for your call.
Thank you.
So the lawyer instructed you to what? To get an abortion?
Well, I went in. I was in an auto accident. I had found out that I was pregnant. I was about 2 months pregnant. And I just went in, for loss of whatever the car wreck was and, all that business. And he asked me if I had made a decision about my pregnancy or not, and if I was choosing to terminate the pregnancy, that we could really make out big because we could claim loss of life.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I bet most people would do it, too. They would listen to the lawyer and claim loss of life.
I was so furious. I just got up and I left his office.
But understand something. Think about all of the women who go in and do the abortion for the money. And they go and they sucker some company into paying for this abortion that they elected to do.
And
this is what they teach in law school. Believe me.
Think about it if there wasn't a lawyer recommending that they do it.
The law is exactly. These lawyers should be thrown in jail.
Well,
I wish I was Hitler. I wouldn't go after Jews. I'd go after lawyers. I would put them in concentration camps and let them stare at each other and confess their sins to me and beg me before I kick their ass into the gas chamber.
It's their percentage.
I would kick every one of their asses into the gas. They better hope I don't become the Fuhrer, because it's going to be the lawyers that are going to go to the gas chamber.
It's just like it says on our money, in God we trust. That's our religion, right?
You got it, honey. That's the surest true with Jackie.
Well, thank you, folks.
That's who he prays to, a dollar bill.
Jesus.
Right, Jackie?
You got it, bro.
And the bong water.
I will tattoo lawyers like Jews.
Oh,
thank you. Right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
As soon as you become pure, nobody was ever a lawyer.
Oh, yeah. You'll see. Lawyers you'll have to wear big stars, those lawyers.
You'll have to ferret them out. They'll crawl under something.
Oh, you watch, and it'll be fun when I have them in the camps. So tell me how you ripped off the system. Tell me again.
Can you imagine lawyers holed up behind hidden walls?
Oh, God.
Trying to hide from Fuhrer's.
Then I'd make a movie, Schindler's Lawyers. A couple of lawyers. I'd let them work for free in exchange for their lives.
You're smuggling the lawyers out of the country.
Oh, I hate them. Every one of them. Except the ones that work for me. They're pretty good guys. There's a couple of good ones. You know, there's a couple of good lawyers, like Yale graduates, Harvard graduate, maybe University of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, but try to find them.
Yeah. After that, you got these other guys who go to these law schools that, Bob's Law School. I'd put them in concentration. I swear to God, I have no problem executing them. As they sat there and begged me for mercy. Please, we didn't mean it. We're just trying to make a buck. We're just trying to make... Into the oven. Into the oven now.
Admit your sins.
The Diary of Anne Frank Esquire.
Rewrite the whole Holocaust.
You're not kidding. There'd be a whole new Holocaust, and no one would blame me. Into the oven with you. Do you think you could reform and take an honest profession? No. Into the oven. Into the. March in Z.
Big shelf of law books, and you push a button,
right?
Switch around.
And unlike Hitler, I would be the most honored man. People would revere me.
That's right. Your name would go down in history.
They would say, "Oh my God, since Howard Hitler got in,
great honor.
The country is so nice."
Like the Pied Piper killed the rats.
Right.
Killed the Jews.
That's it. No, I would kill the lawyers, not the Jews.
What?
He always talks about killing the Jews.
He always wants to kill. Jackie would become Hitler and kill the Jews.
I wish I was Hitler. You know what I meant.
Sure.
Freudian slip.
Sure we do.
You know what I'm talking about here. The lawyers are out to destroy they don't create anything. They don't create. They don't manufacture. All they manufacture is paper documents.
But what they have done is make it impossible for anybody to transact business on a one-on-one basis.
Can't do it.
They've made it necessary to have them in on every transaction.
Everything, because if you don't have them in and you don't have that piece of paper, oh my God, what happens next?
And they've written that paper in the language nobody can understand.
Not even Fred. We're going to take a break. I had sex with my wife twice this weekend.
Well, I'm very happy for you.
Yeah. Gave it to her at night and then the next morning. What do you think of that? Pretty good, huh?
I wouldn't brag if I were you.
No,
if you said you'd done it 4 days, I would have said, oh.
Nah, you haven't been married 20 years. When you're married 20 years, you can tell me. You can tell me that that's not great.
At this point, I don't think I'll live to be married 20 years.
Yeah, I know. I like doing it to my wife when her parents are in the house.
That makes it real naughty.
It's all dirty. I like it when they're downstairs, thinking their daughter's up there having...
You think they know?
Taking a nap.
Oh, is that what you guys say?
Yeah, nap.
That's
the code word. Let's go take a nap. Had her moaning. She couldn't stop moving, wiggling around. Never had it so good. I did it to her at night, and then when I woke up the next morning, she's lying there waiting for me to finish.
Oh, you woke up and got back to it, huh?
And then I got back right into it. She says, we-o, we-o. We-o. We-o, that's her word.
I have him shown up again.
What guy?
Mr. Begin with a Z.
Mrs. Zaremba?
Yeah.
No. I took her to interview with a vampire. I told her I was going to be a vampire. She got all scared. We-o, we-o. We owe for the house. We owe for the car. We owe for everything.
Could I get to the news? I do actually have some news to do here.
Well, do something. I'm sitting here waiting for you to say something.
Oh, boy.
You don't say anything. What am I supposed to do?
Who's the guy who plays MacGyver? Richard Dean Anderson?
Oh, what does it say? Jeopardy show? Yeah, I don't know. Is that MacGyver?
That's MacGyver, yes. He's a big fan of the show. I thought him on Wednesday night, and he said he loves the show.
I thought that was his real name. You know, I thought that...
MacGyver was his real name.
Yeah, I just thought they took a guy named MacGyver and named the show after him.
No, he's Richard Dean Anderson.
Where did you see him?
I saw him on a plane.
You were on a plane?
Yes.
Where were you?
I went to Los Angeles.
What? You were in L.A.?
Yes.
What were you doing there?
Just taking a little time, relaxing for the holiday.
Did you go with anyone?
I took my little sister, yeah.
You don't have a sister.
She's a little sister I met through the Big Brother, Big Sister program. She's my little sister.
No, she's someone you met, someone you take care of.
I'm not saying she's my sister.
Right.
She's my little sister.
And you took her. And what did you do in Los Angeles?
We went to Universal, did a Universal tour and took the Back to the Future ride.
And where did you meet him? On the way to Los Angeles?
Yeah.
And did you go up? Did he recognize you? Or?
I didn't know who he was, so he said something to me before I got off the plane.
Did he say, I'm TV's MacGyver?
No.
I'm TV's MacGyver.
He said, I'm Richard Dean Anderson, an actor.
He even uses his middle name when he introduces himself? Hi, I'm Richard Dean Anderson.
I'm like, 3 names. Are you an assassin?
Yeah. Hi, my name is Richard Dean Anderson.
You could see her looking around for a bouncer.
Bouncer?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
You know, very attractive man. Why would I look for a bouncer?
How soon before you were on your knees on that plane?
He told me at the end, not at the beginning.
Oh, I see. I am TV's Richard Dean Anderson.
He didn't say TV's.
On radio's Jackie Coker. I'm barely in radio.
Now he knows how to introduce himself.
Right.
Hi, I'm radio's Jackie Coker Martling.
Jackie Coger. That's funny that a guy like introduced. I'm Richard Dean Anderson. Any more names you could throw in there?
Well, what are you supposed to do? You got that moniker.
Well, you must really be pumped up about himself.
This is stupid.
He was Richard Dean Anderson right away. He didn't ever have just 2 names.
Wouldn't you introduce yourself as Richard Anderson?
But who would that be?
That's nobody.
Pompous actor.
Richard Anderson isn't anybody.
I'm Richard Dean Anderson.
Say I'm Robin Ophelia?
Yeah, I'm Robin Ophelia Quivers. I'm radio's Robin Ophelia Quivers. You should have said yes, and I'm Robin Ophelia Quivers. That's the comeback.
See, I needed you there, Jackie.
Yeah,
I didn't
Jackie.
know what to say.
You didn't invite me. I would have went.
Jackie always knows what to say when he meets celebrities. He tells Patty Davis Reagan Alzheimer's jokes. He's perfect.
Richard Dean didn't scream at me when I was through saying hello.
Super.
So anyway.
Richard Dean, no kidding. Did he ask for your number or anything?
No. Don't
Surprised.
be ridiculous.
Was he staring at you?
I hadn't noticed.
Really? Was he with a girl?
But if I had known, no, he was. I guess he was here working and he was going home.
Did he have a script in his hand?
No. But if I had known it was him, I'd have been salivating the whole trip.
He didn't hit on your little sister, did he?
No.
I hope not. That would be awful.
And then I saw this thing in the paper today, which really surprised me. Norman Lear is a father again of twins.
And he's 100 years old.
And I said to myself, I saw him, what day was it? Saturday. And he looked fine. How could he be out at a play?
Hold on a second. You saw him Saturday?
Yes.
Well, what do you... Boy, you saw him on Saturday?
Yes.
Well, I don't understand. When did this trip come about?
It was over the Thanksgiving holiday.
You must have been planning it for a while.
I planned it, yes.
You never told me. I mean, not that you have to tell me these things, but it's odd that you wouldn't mention that you were going to Los Angeles. It's rather exciting.
I don't...
Have you become so jaded that it's so matter-of-fact to you now?
No, that's not it at all. I just don't think it ever came up. We didn't talk about what we were doing for the holiday.
So the book is done?
No.
And you were gallivanting around Los Angeles?
I had to do something for the holiday anyway, didn't I? And I was burned out.
Oh.
So I said I could rejuvenate myself. Recharge my energy.
You are completely something else. So you went to a play, and what play did you see?
I saw the Steve Martin play.
Is he in it?
No, he wrote it. Picasso at the Le Pan Agile.
Oh, boy, what happened to him? Didn't he used to be funny?
Well, let me tell you something. That's what I said before I saw this play.
Was it funny?
He is funny again.
Really?
It is really funny. Norman Lear stood up and gave it a standing ovation. So did Eugene Levy.
Oh, was he there?
Actor who was
He's
in
cool.
the audience. Yeah, so everybody really, really liked it. But I couldn't tell that Norman Lear had just had twins. What was he doing out at this play? And then I read that he and his 47-year-old wife had the twins with a surrogate mother.
Super.
So he did it the right way. He and the wife are out partying. The woman's probably still laying around trying to recuperate from having his twins.
If I was that woman, I'd demand custody of the kids now and become
really
famous.
Screw him up.
Yeah, right, screw him up. Norman Lear is, what is he, 80?
Yeah, or something.
72? That's what he says he is.
Yeah, he's probably cheating a little bit, don't you think?
What, the age? You mean not on his wife?
No.
Right.
I didn't mean his wife, on the age.
Probably.
But why would he want to have twins, babies, at 72?
He doesn't. His wife wants it.
He has a 6-year-old now, too.
Oh. He doesn't want it. When you get that old, although they say these really old guys, these Hollywood guys who now have second families and have these young kids.
This must be a third for him.
Well, they make good fathers this time around because all the male hormone is out of their system. They're almost like women.
Yeah, and they don't want to go anywhere. They just want to stay around the house and play with the baby.
They have a lot of estrogen. Maternal. They get maternal.
They finally get those maternal instincts?
Yeah, that's what they say. I don't know about it in Norman Lear's case, but could be.
But that was amazing to me. You just can't imagine. You think of Norman Lear as a genius. The guy who created All in the Family.
Yeah.
And he's going the surrogate mother route, and he lets the woman talk him into doing all these wacky things.
I was saying he might just be having sex with lots of different girls.
I was just shocked at that.
Well, listen, they'll have children to carry their bedpans.
I'm full. Oh, that's terrible.
So did radio's Robin O'Quivers give the play a standing ovation?
No, I stayed in my seat, but I really enjoyed it. It's a very funny play. If you're out in Los Angeles and you're looking for something to do.
What is the name of it again? Your French, please?
Picasso at the Agile.
Yeah, there's a guy in touch with the masses, Steve Martin.
Yeah, everybody can relate to that.
Well, it was a very weird name, and I thought, I hope I understand the name once I've seen this play.
Robin out on the town.
Offer! Steve Martin! Offer! Kudos!
Kudos.
Standing O!
Standing O, oh boy.
So, what happened? Your family came to New York, so you got on the first plane to Los Angeles?
I better get out of town.
I have to go see Picasso. See you later.
Kudos.
Kudos. Monsieur.
Garçon, je ne peux pas manger ce potage.
Escargot.
Escargot. Crème brûlée.
You just yell out the names of food?
Chateaubriand.
Gorgonzola.
All right, what else is in the news?
Oh, goodness. Well, you know what last night was. Last night was the first night of Hanukkah.
Yes.
Did you light a candle?
Yeah, sure. Because I'm half Jewish.
Ah. Oh, do you only light 4?
No. We did the whole thing. My wife is full Jewish, and she insists on raising the children Jewish.
So you go along with it.
Sure. Actually, last night Fred set fire to a Jew. Tell Robin about it.
It was right after I read that review about Steve Martin's new play.
Right.
I lit a joint and put it in the menorah.
Is that right, Jackie Puppet?
A joint menorah. His miracle was the pot lasted 8 days.
This joint different from all other joints.
Right.
Well, let's celebrate the Jewish holiday with a little bit of the music of the season. Play the first collection there.
Jewish prayer.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu v'mitzosav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Chanukah.
That's Hanukkah at Richard Dean Anderson's house.
Where is this?
That's Gilbert Gottfried, isn't it? You don't use it as real voice.
Yeah, he's really
the Gary Shandling Hanukkah special. I can do all this. I know all this.
Yeah?
Yeah, I can do it. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lechadlik ner shel Hanukkah.
I'm very impressed.
Thank you.
You could have been a cantor.
Oh, yeah.
I could have been a lot of things, Robin. I didn't have to take this stupid job.
I didn't know you had anything to fall back.
See?
Now, let me ask you something. Why is it that the Jewish holidays are always on different days? Are the Jews on a different calendar?
I don't understand it myself. I thought this was Thanksgiving. No, the Jews are in a rush to beat the Christians.
Christmas.
Yeah, well, you know, Hanukkah is, from what I understand, Hanukkah is like a meaningless Jewish holiday that really is no big deal. All it was like some oil burned a long time.
Right.
But because the Jews, you know, feel kind of wacky around Christmas with all the Christian kids getting all these gifts, they've created Hanukkah into this big thing.
I see. But why is it always a different day?
Because Jews don't like to spend money on calendars.
Okay, I knew
I don't know why.
To be a reason.
I don't know why. I have no clue. If someone could tell me that, I have no clue. I don't know. I just know it happened last night.
Yes, that it did. Dr. Kevorkian, for the holiday, wants to remind people to...
kill themselves.
That's right. So he's
but responsibly.
Taking his 21st life.
All right.
He got a hold of his 21st victim.
Fred Norris.
Jackie Marlowe.
By doing it a 72-year-old woman.
Got rid of her?
Yeah.
Hope to check
Gave her
out.
some carbon monoxide.
For Hanukkah.
I'm trying to see what she had that she wanted to die, or was it just old age?
It's probably Mrs. Norman Lear. She had a baby with an 80-year-old guy or whatever it is.
Oh, she had severe rheumatoid arthritis, a colon disease, and advanced osteoporosis that had crippled her hands and caused her to lose both legs and one eye.
Oh, she should want to live.
So she was going little by little anyway.
You can't blame her.
Piece by piece.
You can't blame for someone like that wanting to die. I mean, being racked with pain every day.
Well, who said she was racked with pain?
Oh, come on.
They have painkillers. Her husband of 50 years and her son were present. Now, do you think you want to stand around at a time like that?
Of course. Watch someone check out? Sure. I'll say goodbye. Watch him die. It's kind of cool.
Oh, boy.
Take a video. All right.
Well, if you're the husband, are you thinking of all the things you get to do?
Oh, yeah. Finally got rid of this blind, arthritic.
It's one-eyed, legless.
One-eyed, yeah, right. Goodbye. You're like, I'd be dialing the phone as she was going. Looking for dates. Hello? What?
He was probably a ventriloquist.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hello?
So I don't know. It's awful strange. Awful strange, that thing. You know, we have a squatters war going on here in New York.
Yeah.
Oh! Not that kind.
It's
there
unbelievable.
are people who take over these abandoned buildings.
Like Siobhan.
And in groups, they claim to be making improvements and making the houses livable and bringing them up to code. And then they expect to gain ownership.
Yeah. Just like that.
Just because they decided to move into an abandoned building, they think they can own it.
I don't get that.
Seems like it's rad.
Duty in every corner. You know what I mean? Like, it is all...
My apartment now.
Yeah, marking off their territory.
Well, the city has always, felt that they own those buildings.
They do.
That they can do anything they want. And now some of the squatters' buildings are up for renovation by the city, and the city wants to throw these people out and take it over.
Right.
And, of course, they're now in court fighting it out. The city can't just throw them out now that they're in.
It's unbelievable. But when did that become a law?
A judge will have to determine what goes on here. There'll be a hearing before Judge Elliot Wilk on December 14th.
Well, Judge, I'll make it easy for you. Either you own the building or you don't. Goodbye. What is this? Why is it so hard to decide these things?
Why is it even a court case?
Right. Who are these people? They move into... we know Siobhan, this guy who used to be a transsexual, or pre-op transsexual, and he all of a sudden got into this whole squatting movement, And he went down there with, like, carpentry tools and built up this apartment house. And it's like, yeah, we don't have plumbing yet, man, but, you know, like they're taking a duty and doing their movements. I don't know where.
On the street. I guess they had a street.
Yeah, right. Because we don't, but, like, we're putting on all this work, and why don't we get to own it? And I just said, because you don't own it. You didn't pay any money for it.
And what they do is they sort of get the neighbors to help them tap into gas lines and
do everything illegal.
Electric lines so that they can get light and gas or heat.
And Siobhan's perfectly capable of getting a job and buying an apartment, you know, or renting one.
Yeah, if a group of people want to get together and have a commune, they can get together, pool some money, and buy a facility.
They probably get the E! Channel, and we don't. Probably tap into that. But you know what's really weird is that these people really get delusional and think they own these apartments.
Well, they're going to court and fighting. Yeah, because they think, wait a minute, we expended a lot of effort and energy here.
Yeah, no one told you to.
This is ours now.
And it's really weird, too. Like, I don't understand how there aren't little turf wars in these apartments. Like, after you build them up, how, like, other homeless people don't just come in and beat you up and take your apartment.
I don't know.
I don't get how that whole thing works.
It's a different code. Something we're not privy to.
Yeah.
But I think it's awfully funny that they go to court to challenge.
And all that work that you put into building an apartment, you could do into legitimate work.
To get money so you can afford an apartment of your own that nobody challenge you over.
Like go get a job doing some construction or something. Or work in a supermarket. I don't know. We got to take a break.
97.1 The Eagle.
Yeah.
You're listening to The Howard Stern Show.
Yeah.
Once again, Howard Stern.
Howard Stern,
Stern,
Yeah, great.
Stern,
It's great, it's great. I'm really thrilled being me.
Drop dead.
Right.
Yeah.
Who is more wonderful than me?
Jackie Mama.
Who?
Jackie Mama.
All right. Well, there you go.
See, they can't argue with that, can you?
All right, so there you got me. All right, what else is in the news, Robin?
Well, I'm looking in the paper today, and it says that Jay Leno didn't do any better by coming to New York against David Letterman than if he had stayed in Los Angeles, because Letterman, according to a 32 market average, beat Jay every night last week.
You know what's funny about it? Letterman's ratings actually went through the roof by Jay coming to New York.
It seems to me, I was going to ask you if these ratings weren't higher than normal, because it says that Letterman had a 6.7.
Yeah, those are higher than normal.
So whenever these guys do travel, more audience is generated, but Jay doesn't get it.
Jay gives it to Dave. Well, you know, it's great. Jay was really after me to do the show when he came to New York, and I didn't do it, but Dave was after me, too. And I'm glad I didn't get involved in this, because no matter whose show I would, you see how intense the competition is when one of them goes somewhere. I don't want to be a part of it. Because Letterman thinks I'm burning him. Leno thinks that I'm burning him.
Yeah, there's always some kind of adverse reaction.
And then I want to be part of this. If Jay has a disastrous New York trip, I got to be a part of it. And suddenly it wouldn't become Jay's. By the way, if I had gone on that show, would have been Howard Stern's didn't turn it around for Jay. And, it's like, well...
You may be losing your pulling power.
Yeah, right. So who needs that? What, I get paid for that? Quite frankly, the night I would have gone on, I would have beaten Dave's ass, but that's neither here nor there. But that's good then. Now I look good. Like, hey, if Howard had gone on, it
would have been a different week for them.
Huh?
Next time, he won't ever stop calling you.
Well, Rush Limbaugh, evidently he went on Jay's.
Yeah, didn't help a bit.
Didn't help a bit.
And he's in how many markets across the country?
Yeah.
5 billion?
Imagine if we were on in all those markets.
R.J. Reynolds has developed a low-smoke cigarette.
Oh, maybe Scott will smoke that.
What good is that?
Instead of actually burning the tobacco, you light up some kind of...
You light your wig.
charcoal tip.
You light the tip? Can't you burn your lips and teeth?
Or a carbon tip.
Yeah.
And then the hot air is drawn through the tobacco.
Oh, this is good.
Where glycerin is vaporized and carries nicotine and tobacco flavor to the smoker.
You know, Scott will never smoke those because he likes annoying people with his smoke.
Glycerin.
And you know what else? Yeah, inhaling glycerin.
People have to go through all this toiletry to get smoke into themselves.
I know. And you know what's weird?
The fun of smoking.
It does sound complicated, doesn't it?
It does. And the fun of smoking is seeing the smoke come out. I mean, I know for me, I was a smoker.
Smoke, I suppose, to blow out, wouldn't you? I don't know.
Yeah, but if there's not like those low tar cigarettes, you got to suck on them in order to get anything out of them, and then you don't see any smoke come out of your mouth, and it's real boring.
Well, this is the problem with this cigarette too. They say that it's very hard to keep it lit.
Yeah.
So apparently it's like sucking your brains out.
Right.
You got to draw on that.
Well, that's
cigarette.
how Merit, Scott smokes Merit now because he thinks he's going to live longer.
Longer to smoke.
But I smoke Merits. But you see him sucking on that thing like it's a baby bottle. He's like, I smoke Merits.
And proudly.
They say that they'll be marketing the cigarette next year under the name called Eclipse.
I will not smoke Eclipse.
Eliminates 90% of the tars along with secondhand smoke, so it would be good for non-smokers who have to be in a smoky environment.
Maybe at work I'll smoke Eclipse, and then when I go home I'll smoke Marlboro.
They still say they have to work on the taste. It still delivers nicotine, so you're getting that hit
good to know.
of the drugs.
At least I'll still get my nicotine. Don't take that away from me. What I'll do is I'll smoke a smoky cigarette and a smokeless cigarette at the same time. They might cancel each other out. And I like the extra glycerin. I like to lick it.
I like getting another chemical into my system.
The less natural I am, the healthier I feel. I'm going to start smoking roof shingles next. I suck my merits like an Ethiopian baby breastfeeding on a dead woman. That's diligence.
You ever see those babies breastfeeding from the dead women? That's a pisser, huh?
That'll light one up.
You don't laugh at that?
No.
That's how Scott looks smoking on those merits.
Shut up and let me light you, kid. I'm going to smoke my foot.
Courtney Love is featured in the new Rolling Stone magazine.
Does she smoke?
She's off heroin, even though she admits to using other drugs. She says these days it's Valiums and Percodan.
I believe she...
heroin.
What about merits? I believe she does smoke. I've seen her in various interviews smoking.
Hey, somebody sent me a magazine, like they sent me that foot fetish magazine.
Yeah.
There's a smoking fetish magazine.
What do you mean by that?
Guys who are really turned on by women who smoke.
Oh. So you have pictures of women with cigarettes?
Yeah, women smoking.
Where's that? The clothes on?
Yeah, sometimes clothes on, sometimes clothes off.
My wife is the centerfold.
So you took that home already? You didn't show it to us?
No. I got it at my house. Somebody gave it to me. I'll bring it in. I got to remember to bring it in.
Really? I'd like to see that.
Yeah, and on the internet, they have a whole bunch of smoking fetishists.
Amazing.
You have become the Center for Depraved Behavior.
Why?
Because you just got a really cool tickling video today where it's these two really good-looking girls, and the premise is they're in competing sororities.
Yeah.
So one girl ties the other girl up. She hog-ties her until the girl tells her the secret handshake. She keeps tickling her. So first they're wearing mini skirts, and they're rolling around in their underwear, tickling each other and stuff.
Yeah, you see, it's always when it's two really good-looking girls tickling. It really sucks when it's guys.
Oh, who wants to see that?
So, meanwhile, I got some guy sent me the tickling magazine. Like, since we had tickling on the show, look at the thickness of this tickling newsletter.
Weren't you surprised to find out how many people are really into this?
Well, look at this.
The sad thing is they're organized.
I want to get this. Forget that. So there's a big ad. You see this? This guy sells these wooden chairs.
It's a special chair?
It's a stockade. Listen to this. I want to order this for the studio.
Oh, no.
These stocks are my next major woodworking project. This is some guy writing. They're called laughing stocks, a name given to them by a friend of mine in California who's given me a lot of encouragement to launch WWT, whatever that is.
Worldwide Tickling Association.
Right.
Oh,
no. So the guy says that we'll be able to actually order these. It's a big wooden... Well, we're going to get it for the show, so I can tickle women.
Sure. I can't wait to see Belinda Carlisle on that show.
Yeah, we'll get her in it. Look at it. Here's a picture of it. I'll show it for the camera. Look at it.
That's a beauty.
It's a real product.
I don't know. It looks like, is it covered or is that just plain wood?
That's just wood.
Maybe we can get leather. Make it more comfortable for us.
Oh, yeah, we could get it lined, I'm sure, with our financial situation.
Is Tom going to spring for that?
Yeah.
Anyway, Mrs. Kurt Cobain is who we're talking about.
Yeah, that's Courtney Love.
Courtney Love. She's on the cover of Rolling Stone. Thank goodness he died. Her career has really taken off.
She's pretty good, actually. I heard her album. It was pretty good. It kind of sounds like Nirvana with a girl singing.
Yeah, but it's not that popular.
Doesn't matter. She's got all the Kurt Cobain money.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
She's getting on the cover of Rolling Stone because her husband killed her.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
She says the day after the birth of their daughter, Frances Bean, Kurt Cobain brought a gun to the hospital.
Gee, he was
so this is the
really
guy you want to have kids with. She toyed with joining him in a double suicide.
Maybe they ought to take her kid away.
Then talked him out of it.
Well, wait a second. Isn't Frances Bean named after the woman who committed suicide?
She's the one who went
Frances
insane.
Farmer.
Frances Farmer. Did she eventually end up killing herself?
No, I don't think she just went insane.
Oh.
They lobotomized her and she calmed down.
Nice name for a kid.
They're correct.
Yeah.
He tried again in Rome last March after the couple had been apart for 40 days. Kurt had gone all out for me, she says. He'd gotten me roses. He'd gotten a piece of the Coliseum. I had some champagne, took a Valium, and fell asleep.
They really ought to take that kid away from her. I know they keep threatening to.
Yes. And then she straightens out for a little while. The rejection he must have felt after all that anticipation. So, obviously, she falls asleep from drugs, so he takes 50 pills. And they rush him off to the hospital. She said after that it was all downhill.
Big deal.
He hated everything.
Amateur.
That's right, Jackie. He doesn't have your fortitude or stamina.
I could take 50 pills.
What I found very interesting was somebody sent me a memo the other day from the PETA organization, the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals.
Why am I receiving no memos?
They had in the box already 2 commercials, one from Kurt Cobain, or featuring Kurt Cobain, talking about his love of animals and how we shouldn't use them for fur, and one from River Phoenix.
River Phoenix?
Yeah, 2 guys who wound up not being able to go on tour after the commercials were produced, so they pulled the commercials. They will never be shown.
I see. You should show them.
I would love to see them,
course
see what these guys had to say about fur.
Absolutely, Robin.
As we said earlier, the Santa Claus, big box office winner for the Thanksgiving weekend, the long weekend.
You know who saw it 7 times?
Who?
Fred. Santa Claus. Yeah, he loves it.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's into Santa Claus. That's his favorite. Who would have guessed?
Star Trek Generations was number 2, Interview with a Vampire number 3, Junior number 4, and Low Down Dirty Shame number 5.
Wow.
And finally this morning, I think it's final. I'll come up with something else. A former North Hollywood special education teacher has been charged with child annoying.
Child annoying?
Yeah, that's a new law you can break now. And contributing to the delinquency of a minor after she allegedly lured a 7-year-old girl into a nude photo session.
What's wrong with that? Big deal.
I thought she was 5.
This 58-year-old woman admitted to police she had taken pictures of the girl in various stages of undress and had had the girl take pictures of her.
Why am I not having any fun?
She and the girl never appeared in the same frame of any of the 22 pictures. This 58-year-old woman made the child take pictures of her topless, in an adult diaper, a thong bikini, and completely nude.
I do that with Jackie.
The girl was
Adult diapers.
The girl was visiting some relatives in this woman's neighborhood when the alleged photo session occurred.
Take a picture.
She had known the girl since she was a small child, so it wasn't like just a stranger invited her into the house and got her into this stuff. She had a long-standing relationship.
Family friend.
She's going to be arraigned on January 4th for those crimes.
Arraigned.
Oh, here's one more thing we really must watch. Tonight on the PBS station, Channel 13, here anyway, they're going to have a special featuring 6 disabled comedians.
Yeah, we're watching that. That's going to be good. That's funny.
Oh, man.
So, they're going
Why?
Look Who's... Oh, it's called Look Who's Laughing. And also...
One of the guys that's on this thing tonight, I've seen him before. He's a Mexican with cerebral palsy.
Yeah.
Talk about bizarre sound.
How do you say that?
Cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy.
Yeah.
He's got really.
But what's wrong with him?
Well, he's in a wheelchair. He talks like that with a Mexican accent.
That must be Alex Valdez. No, wait a minute. Look here. We've got Jerry Jewell, of course, who is the star disabled comedian.
She's like mildly cerebral palsy.
Cerebral palsy, yes.
But I
cerebral.
When she was on The Facts of Life, they would just act like nothing was wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Chris Fonseca, who's Mexican and Catholic, and he's got cerebral palsy, too.
Hi, I'm Mexican.
Then we have Kathy Buckley, who I think we met.
We've had her on. We had her on.
Comedian.
She's kind of funny. She's deaf.
Jimmy, I love you.
Alex Valdez, who's blind.
Can't see.
Brett Leake has muscular dystrophy.
Any of them have really oversized teeth?
Oh.
Not a handicap.
But funny, nevertheless.
So this is what you can see when you tune in tonight. It's going to be on at 10.
Those are the best comedians. Because I'm sick of regular comedians
standing in front of that wall.
Yeah, let them do something different.
Well, Ganji's rolling tape for you.
Good.
It's important.
It's like Freaks.
Handy comics.
Handy comics.
Oh.
I like them. I know the deaf one. She's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I mean, and they got material and stuff. It's just hard to understand it.
Now, do you remember Tommy Boyce? I do not want to leave without talking about this. Tommy Boyce of
yes.
That duo, Boyce and Hart.
Yeah, it's a songwriting duo.
Yeah. They came up with...
the dynamic duo.
Pretty Little Angel Eyes and Under the Moon of Love.
Didn't they write all the Monkees hits?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yep, that's what they're famous for.
Hey, hey, we're the Monkees. That's right. They wrote that theme and everything.
What happened? They died?
Boyce has killed himself. Tommy Boyce. No, it's not funny.
Yeah, too bad he can't write a song about it.
An apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Here I come, walking down the street.
His wife found the body, and she told police he had left a suicide note.
Now, which guy is that, Boyce?
Yeah, Tommy Boyce.
So now Hart can write a song about it.
Yeah, his last hit.
Come a Little Bit Closer. For Jay and the Americans was one of their...
Come a little bit closer now. And?
Be My Guest by Fats Domino.
Be my guest now. Come on and be my guest now.
He had a minor hit with I'll Remember Carol.
I'll remember Carol now. I'll remember Carol now.
Hey, hey, we're the Monkees, of course.
Hey, we're the monkey now. We are the monkey now.
Then there was Out and About.
Out and About.
And I Wonder What She's Doing Tonight.
Burying you.
Burying you.
In a pine box.
So there you go.
I'm going to miss those guys.
They split up in the mid-'70s, Boyce and Hart.
They're good.
But continued to work in the music industry.
Music industry.
Music industry, Terry.
Boyce went to England and worked with Iggy Pop and Meatloaf before returning to the United States, where he worked with such groups as the Partridge Family.
Gee. No wonder he killed himself.
So that's what's happening.
Great job, Robin. Let's say a quick congratulations to Jackie Marlowe with his new album that's selling so well in Europe. It's going to catch on in this country, I bet.
It caught on in this country.
Did it really? All right.
He's going to get major American success soon.
Jackie New Rape Joke Page Martling to order Jackie's Wild Comedy CD or cassette. It's only $10 plus $3 shipping and handling. Holiday special. Buy two, get one free. Call 1-800-323-KING. Also, be sure to go see Jackie this Friday, December 2nd, as Jackie actually works in a bar at Memories Restaurant and Shark Bar in Fort Lee, New Jersey. For info and raunchy jokes, call 516-922-WINE. Hey, they pay me a lot of money. I don't care. Remember,
does Jackie know Paul Provenza?
Yes.
You must know him, right?
He knows him very well.
If he's doing well or not.
He is now taking over in Northern Exposure.
Is he really?
Oh, no.
What?
Provenza, I know him.
Oh, I passed again.
Passed by another.
Big fan of the show, Paul.
No. Remember, 516-922-WINE is not a pay service.
Oh.
How well do you know Provenza?
He hasn't given me a gig yet.
No, come on, seriously.
I know him from, many, many years ago, but I don't know him very well.
Why does he only know the people many, many years ago when they weren't successful?
Yeah, but when they weren't, before they were successful, he's like, hey, Provenza and I went down to this bar, Provenza and this, and Provenza. And then all of a sudden, as soon as he gets famous, he goes, oh, I hardly knew him.
Many, many years ago.
Yeah. I hear him mention Provenza every 2 seconds.
Yeah. Provenza said this,
Provenza
said that.
Years ago, it was me, Minervini, and Provenza. Whoever Minervini is. And I know when he becomes...
who never made it.
And when he becomes famous, Minervini's going, well, I really didn't know him that well. Didn't know him that well.
I knew him from a lot of years ago.
It was me, Minervini, Provenza, and that fat guy who died. Who was the fat comedian that died that you get all broken up about?
Bob Woods.
Bob Woods. It was me, Woods, Minervini, and Provenza. Don't miss boy Gary at Bazookas in Secaucus, New Jersey this Thursday. And believe me, if Woods had lived, he'd be on TV now, too.
There you go.
And Secaucus, New Jersey this Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. with the Bazooka Girls.
I'm doing well, Howard.
I know. Everyone knows.
One night I wiped a booger on Provenza.
Don't miss Stuttering.
Long ago, though.
Don't miss Stuttering John appearing in Tony and Tina's wedding. And to get his signed copy of Stuttering John's debut CD, call 201-942-OUCH. Don't miss Steve the Gorilla and Stuttering Vic at Bazookas hosting the Bazookas Girl 95 calendar party. All these restaurants that somehow get the name for breasts in there. Why don't they just call it breast? At breasts. They got Hooters, Knockers. What's the other one?
Tips. Tay-Tays.
No. What is the one they call?
Bumpers.
Bazooka. And they got Hooters they have.
You said Hooters.
Yeah, everything for breasts.
Headlights.
Why don't they just call it breasts?
Blinkers. Yeah. Milk wagons.
Nobody cares. Bazooka hosting the Bazooka Girl. Yeah, the Bazooka Girl 1995 calendar party on Tuesday, November 29th at Bridgewater, New Jersey, and Wednesday in Piscataway. If you're looking for a DJ for your office Christmas party, call Scott the Engineer's Rocket Entertainment at 718-BAG-5040. Many dates still available, and catch Scott before he switches to that new brand of cigarettes that Robin was referring to. You still want to get him with the regular smoke machine.
Because he'll be tired from trying to draw in the smoke.
Yeah, if you want a smoke machine, that's optional. Scott will bring that with him.
I bring them myself. I smoke and I smoke till the room was filled with smoke. And then I smoke some more. I smoke until there's tar running down the walls.
All right, we'll see you on...